Party's on. Lucio versus Cole. Step forward, please.
38-year-old Sandra Lucio and her husband Jesse are suing Sandra's plastic surgeon, Dr. Richard Cole. The Lucios claim Dr. Cole botched Sandra's breast enlargement surgery, and now she faces another operation.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 183 on the calendar in the matter of Lucio versus Cole. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Lucio, is this your husband?
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat, sir? And you are Dr. Cole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lucio, you are suing Dr. Cole because you say that he performed a breast augmentation procedure for you and you were not satisfied with the result.
That's correct, Your Honor.
I gather from your complaint that this was not the first time that you had a breast augmentation procedure.
That's correct.
When was the first time that you had the procedure done?
It was in 1992.
What happened with that procedure?
It was fine.
So why are you doing it again?
For larger breasts.
Why?
It's what I wanted.
If you had the procedure done in 1992 and you said it was fine, what changed in the last 4 or 5 years?
I just thought that I would prefer larger breasts. I had breastfed my children, and I was at a certain size. And with age, my figure had changed, and that I wanted it more in proportion.
And are you telling me that you were totally satisfied with the procedure that was done in 1992?
Yes.
Well, let me make sure. Didn't you tell me in your complaint that your breast size was different? One was heavier than the other?
That was before any surgery.
And after the 1992 surgery, both breasts were exactly the same?
Pretty much. It was from a different doctor.
I know it was from a different doctor. What do you mean, pretty much?
It was to my satisfaction, yes.
Okay. And then you consulted Dr. Cole.
That's correct.
Why didn't you go back to the doctor that you consulted in 1992 and who did the surgery in 1992?
He had moved.
Okay. Moved to another city, another...
I just couldn't find him. He had moved. He had moved from an area he wasn't... I couldn't find him. I couldn't locate him.
Did you try?
I had went to him when I had a problem with some pain, and I had went back to his office, and they were doing some remodeling around that area. And also I had had a girlfriend that gave me some information on Dr. Cole, and I had seen his work on some lip surgery that he had done for her, and I just thought I'd try another doctor.
Okay. So he came well recommended to you?
He came recommended for a different type of surgery.
So why did you decide to use him for breast surgery?
I went and had a consultation with him. I listened to what he had to say, and I just thought I would use him.
How much was he going to charge you for the surgery?
He was going to charge me originally $3,600.
And ultimately?
The $75 consultation fee, and then I also paid, the total was $3,200 with the surgical center was $800, which brought a total of $4,000.
How much did you pay for the first surgery?
I don't recall, not the total.
Do you remember?
I wasn't involved with her at the time.
Oh.
I wasn't married to her at the time, Your Honor.
When did the two of you get married?
In '95.
But you have children from a prior marriage, is that right?
Correct, yes.
You have no children together?
No.
I want to ask you a couple of questions, so stand up here. You fell in love with her the way she was, right?
Yes.
Did you encourage her to have this second surgical procedure?
No, I did not.
Did you try to discourage her?
Yes, I did.
My kind of man. You said, I love you the way you are, honey, don't do it.
Yes, I did.
Probably should have listened to him. How long do you stay in the hospital when you have this surgical procedure?
2 hours.
And how long is the discomfort period afterwards?
It's for about a week
Or more?
or more.
Well, in this case, Your Honor, it's for ever since it's happened. She's not able to even look at herself in the mirror. I have to deal with that.
Well, I don't quite understand because according to the complaint, your complaint against Dr. Cole is that your breasts are a different size.
Correct, they're uneven.
Uneven.
We paid the money that we paid for them to be even. They were even the
I
first
wouldn't have
time.
listened to me. At my age, I don't look so closely anymore. Even, uneven. I'm just happy that I have them. That's it.
Well, Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
the first time she had it done, they were even. They were balanced out. We informed Dr. Cole and we gave him the procedure that had been done the first time and explained to him that they were uneven and that the first doctor had compensated for the fact that they were uneven. He explained to us that he understood and that he would make the proper adjustment to make them come out even, which he did not.
Dr. Cole, I'll hear you, sir.
When the couple came to me, the chief complaint here was that they did not like the first surgeon's work at all. She complains, and I have pictures to show, that the nipples pointed towards the axilla or the armpits bilaterally.
Did you complain about that?
No, he showed that to me, but I hadn't noticed.
You hadn't noticed it.
I mean, it was the way I was.
Go ahead.
She had a large retraction pocket with a muscle pulling in on the right side particularly. The breasts weren't round or smooth. They were irregularly shaped where the type of implants that were placed were adhesed to the capsules.
I don't understand all that. Does that mean they didn't look nice?
They didn't look nice.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So if you want to come back into chambers with me and you want to show me what your breasts look like, I'm certainly prepared to do that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Plastic surgeon Dr. Richard Cole denies he did anything wrong when he performed breast enlargement surgery on Sandra Lucio. Sandra says Dr. Cole botched the procedure.
Go ahead, Dr. Cole.
The chief complaint they had at that time was the shape. They did not like the shape of the breast. They didn't think it was normal or natural, and there was a lot of discomfort, particularly on the right side. The second
Well,
thing...
you said that you had gone back to the other doctor because you'd had some discomfort.
I had pulled a muscle.
Just a second. Look at me. Did you complain that you had discomfort to Dr. Cole?
That I had no.
Discomfort?
No, he's not the one that I went back to. I went back to the original one.
I know that. When you went to see Dr. Cole, did you tell him that you had discomfort?
I had pain.
Pain. All right. You told him that you had pain on one side of your breast?
No, I had pain from the incisions, not pain from...
What difference does it make whether it's pain from the incision from the surgery or pain from the implant? It's the same thing. You had pain in your breast, madam. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I understand.
Go ahead, Dr. Cole.
The second thing they said was they'd like to have the breast enlarged if possible. The third thing I garnished not from them, but from the records they had given me from the first surgery, that there was some inequality between the breast sizes. The doctor had estimated that the difference between the two breasts was around 25 cc's difference, which is less than 2 tablespoons. But I said, if that's the third thing in terms of your interest, I will try to get that as close as possible. When I did the surgical procedure, I had a difficult time getting the capsules, the shape of the breasts, and I spent most of my time working on that so they'd be round and smooth, the nipples would point forward. The second amount of time I tried to do was to get the implant of largest size that I could in. And I explained this to Lucio's time and time again, that I could only get the size implant in that I could get in. I could not get more stuff in the area if it would not go. And I fill the implants till they're completely full, and as much size as... I do not have any prior conceived notion about implant size. They cost the same to me. There's no more problem getting them in if they're bigger. I had no axe to grind as far as I put the largest ones that would fit in her body safely and still be able to close the muscle tissue. I did that, and by the time I got the implants filled, I could not take some out of one side to make them even because it would have made one implant grossly smaller than the other. And I explained this to them, that I had done the best I could to get best shape, the most size I could out of them, And that's what my aims were. She had on one side, just for numbers, 300 cc's before I started, and I ended up with 430. That's over a third larger than what she started off with. On the other side, again, I put 430 cc's.
Do you have photographs for me?
I have preoperative photographs.
And I'd like to see the postoperative photographs.
I don't have any post-op. She did not come
I
back
have
for the post-op.
some photographs.
Well, I'd like to take a look at...
Sir, stay right there.
Okay. Can I see the postoperative photographs, please?
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes.
When we went to Dr. Cole informed us that he was able to put 400, the bag size, 400 cc's in her breasts and enlarge them to anywhere between, for one side would be 450 to 460, the other side would be 490 to almost 500. When the doctor did the surgery, the only reason we even found out that he didn't put the right size in was because we asked for a copy of his report from his secretary. His secretary gave us a copy of the report. My wife was just devastated because he had not put the size that he indicated to us. We immediately went back into his office and said, "You didn't put the right size." He said, "Well, they no longer make that size."
Mr. Lucio.
Yes.
I can't use these photographs because these photographs don't show me anything. You showed me photographs. Your wife is wearing a brassiere.
Well, she was embarrassed to show you them without, Your Honor.
Well, then, that's not proof, sir. I need proof.
That shows you that I can't wear a bra.
No, it doesn't, madam, because I can, any woman can put on a bra, and unless she puts both sides in the same way, she can manipulate one side so one side looks one way and one side looks the other way. I have one set of photographs with the way you look preoperative, and I don't have anything here. You understand that, Mr. Lucio? I mean, what I have here is something that's masked, that's covered.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Then there's something more involved here than the desire to have perfect, huge breasts.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 38-year-old Sandra Lucio and her husband Jesse are suing Sandra's plastic surgeon, Dr. Richard Cole. The Lucios claim Dr. Cole botched Sandra's breast enlargement surgery, and now she faces another operation.
I mean, what I have here is something that's masked, that's covered.
Well, we have a report, I'm sorry, from another doctor, Dr. Villicana. Wait, no, it's, if I may, just, Your Honor, it's just a...
Evaluation and the cost of what it would be to correct the surgery.
I am not going to read a report from another doctor. If you want to show me another doctor's bill, a bill I will certainly look at, but I will not accept another doctor's statement in lieu of the doctor's testimony.
We were charged for this doctor's report so that he could also, show you that there is a difference. Just by
He says there's a difference. Madam, he says that there's a difference.
This is a drastic difference. I cannot wear a bra that's a normal size. One size fits and the other one does not. I would show you, you're a woman, you would just by looking at me. I can't wear a bathing suit. I can't wear anything that
Have you
is
been back
normal
to Dr.
size.
Cole?
We talked to Dr. Cole. The
Have
way
you
he told me is that every woman is basically odd-sized. You're not born even. And he said that there wasn't much difference. To me, there is a difference. Eventually, after talking to him, then he said, okay, I agree. He would go in and reopen the valve. When we spoke to the other doctor...
When he said reopen the valve, he meant reopen the valve and take some out from one side?
No, he was going to put some more in.
Madam, I don't understand you. You know, I'm looking at the procedure, the preoperative procedure, the preoperative photographs. And quite frankly, I don't understand why in the world an apparently intelligent woman would want to have her breasts enlarged any larger than these are.
You make intelligent choices. I made an intelligent choice. You may not agree, but it was my choice.
It was your choice. It was your choice, and what's going to happen is you're going to have 3 surgeries on your breast. You know, there were women out there, Miss Lucio, who would love to just have breasts that didn't give them any trouble. 2 natural, nice breasts that didn't cause them any grief. You have children, you got a nice husband who said to you, dear, I love you just the way you are. Don't do anything. You're going to have surgery now 3 times in order to...
Well, if he would have done it properly, I would have only had the 2. I would have been satisfied with what I wanted, what I asked for.
Miss Lucio, I can't tell from your photographs the extent of the difference. So if you want to come back into chambers with me and you want to show me what your breasts look like, and I am not an expert, so I'm just a lay person looking at you and seeing whether there's such an aberration, so that there is such negligence on the part of the doctor so that I should award you $5,000, I'm certainly prepared to do that. Is that what you want to do?
That's fine.
Let's go.
Step over this way, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Dr. Cole, I must tell you that when we were in the back, I had no conversation with Mrs. Lucio with regard to this case. She was very upset. She still seems to be very upset, and what I was trying to do was to calm her a little bit and to tell her that if she wasn't prepared to proceed with this matter today, I was prepared to adjourn it unless she could compose herself. But we did not discuss the case because I know you were not with me. You might have felt certain misgivings. Do you understand?
I have no misgivings, Your Honor.
Good. Ms. Lucio, I want you to look at me. I'm jealous. I say that in the hope to get a smile on your face, madam. I will tell you that what I viewed back there was a hell of a lot better than the photographs, the preoperative photographs that were furnished to me by Dr. Cole. And quite frankly, Mr. Lucio, I think you are exaggerating to a tremendous extent. What you said was a vast difference in the size of your wife's breasts. I certainly did not see it. I saw a breast enlargement that clearly was larger than what she had. The shape was much better than what she had. And whatever difference in size was de minimis to my naked, untrained eye. And I tell you, Miss Lucio, right now that I believe that if you're prepared to put yourself through another surgical procedure, then there's something more involved here than the desire to have perfect, huge breasts. And that you would be very wise to address what it is that's really motivating you to do this. To cut yourself up every couple of years in the quest to have the perfect breast. You are the mother of, you told me in the back, 3 children. Right? You've got a husband who seems like a nice guy who says, I like you just the way you are. What I saw back there to me, it's as close to perfect as you could want. And yet you're not satisfied, so there's something else there. And I suggest that it may need a different kind of doctor to address what would motivate someone like you, who has 3 healthy kids, doesn't have breast cancer, thank God, doesn't have anything wrong with themselves, to put you through 3 surgeries because you see that one breast is slightly smaller than the other. Insane. And for you to encourage her in that regard, sir, is wrong. You know what? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I understand.
I know you understand. You seem like an intelligent man. Don't encourage her. There's something else there in your wife's head that she's unhappy with. And if this is the vehicle that she's using in order to satisfy that, it's destructive. Dr. Cole, I don't think you made any errors when you did the surgical procedure on the plaintiff. I'm dismissing her lawsuit. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It is on Bunch versus the Cowboy Boogie Company. Step forward.
25-year-old student Marcus Bunch says he was punched and injured by bouncers at the Cowboy Boogie Company. He wants the owner, Jack Wade, to pay his medical bills.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 199 on the calendar in the matter of Bunch versus the Cowboy Boogie Company. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, gentlemen.
Mr. Bunch.
Yes.
And you are, sir?
Mr. Wade.
Shh. Mr. Wade, you are the owner of this club?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mr. Bunch, your papers indicate that you were assaulted by Mr. Wade's employees while you were a patron at the club.
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
Want to tell me what happened, sir?
Me and a bunch of friends went that night to take some dance lessons to have a good time at the club. And
Is this a dance club?
Yes, sir.
And we took the lessons, and afterwards we were dancing, and a good song came on, and we decided that we were going to dance with the rest of the customers that were up on a stage or a platform area. And when we got up there, me and my friend John, we danced for about a half of the song. And at that point, one of the bouncers came up and told us that we had to get down. So we did. And we asked him, why could the rest of the people dance up there if we couldn't? And he said, simply because they're girls. And John protested. He said, well, that's not fair. You know, in our society, it's supposed to be equal. If they can dance there, we should be allowed to also.
So there were only girls up on the platform?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So he said if he didn't like it, take it up with the management or get the heck out of the place. And we turned around and we started to walk away. And I said, all right, Haas. And that was probably a mistake. I called the guy Haas. But I don't think that was a very harsh thing to call him. And we walked away and we went back to our table. And at that point he said, all right, you guys are out of here. And he turned around and he walked away. So we just kept going back to our table and we sat down and we were with the rest of our friends. And he came back instantly with a bunch of guys wearing red shirts that said Cowboy Boogie Company. And he grabbed me briskly and picked me off of my bar stool and started escorting me out of the establishment. And I went peacefully, and in front of me was John, carried hog-tied, and they were slamming him around, running him out the front door, knocking over some of the other customers that were in the place, and they threw him out the front door. Mm-hmm. At that point, we were underneath the umbrella in front of the establishment, and we walked past that, and we were actually in the parking lot now. And John turned around and said, I want my cowboy hat. And
This is John.
This is John.
May I say something?
Not yet.
Okay.
That night, he had just purchased a cowboy hat from this establishment, and he had lost it that night.
Okay.
So he was upset. They didn't want to let him go back in the club to get the hat, and they were arguing, exchanging words at each other. And at this point, to remind you, we were past the umbrella out in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. At that point, one of the bouncers, I believe it's this guy here.
Which one, in the red shirt?
In the red shirt, yes, ma'am. He blew his top and ran out. He was by the front door. He ran out and slugged him in the chest, knocking him down to the ground. And his girlfriend and I were standing next to him, and he said, excuse my language, F you too, and he punched her in the chest and knocked her down the ground also. And then when he turned towards me, at that point, I had just instantly, I defended myself, I hit him, I turned around, and I wanted to get the heck out of there. There was too many bouncers there. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I just wanted to be safe and get out of there.
Okay.
Then...
Just a second. So let me understand this, Mr. Bunch. You hit the employee first.
Yes, ma'am, after he had hit both of my friends and turned towards me.
You hit the employee first.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead, then what happened?
Okay, so I ran through the parking lot as fast as I could.
So you hit him, and then you ran away?
Yes, I ran as fast as I could. And then there was a bunch of people chasing me. And I zigzagged through the parking lot, I ran different directions. Finally, they caught up with me, and they beat the crap out of me. They knocked me down on the ground.
Order.
I curled up into a ball, and they stomped me, they kicked me with cowboy boots, or I don't know what, but they broke my finger. They gave me a subcutaneous hematoma in one of my other fingers. They kicked me in the back.
Just a second. When you say a subcutaneous hematoma, it meant that one of your nails turned black?
Yes, and they had to, in the ER, they had to burn a hole through my nail with an electric probe so the blood can come out. It was very painful. Mm-hmm. They broke my pinky in 2 places. Mm-hmm. I had numerous bruises and scratches and kicks, and I had a bump on my elbow that lasted for 2 weeks. I was just in pain.
Where did you hit this gentleman when you hit him?
Somewhere in the face.
And I assume that you hit him with your fist?
Yes, I did.
Hmm? And you didn't stick around to see what kind of injury there was?
Not at all. I was running for my life. I wanted to leave that establishment. There was too many bouncers there. And I'm not a fighter. I was just defending myself. This guy hit both of my friends and turned towards me. Look at him. He's 6'4", 300 pounds and muscular. I'm getting out of there.
You should have gotten out before you hit him, Mr. Bunch.
He turned towards me and was coming at me.
Listen to me. You should have, at that point, if you're scared to death of him, You turn around as fast as your little legs can take you, and you start to run. If you, I mean, just think about it, Mr. Bunch.
You're
If you're
absolutely
scared
correct.
to death of somebody, you are large, aren't you, sir?
Yes.
Scared to death of this man, and you probably had to swing up to hit him, right?
No, he was done. He was coming towards me. I didn't have a second to react. He hit both of them, turns towards me, and he was down at my level, ready to hit me too. And that's when I just immediately hit him and ran. I didn't have a second to react. I couldn't believe, I was in amazement that this guy ran from the front door, ran out and hit the girl that was only 115 pounds and slammed her to the ground. I couldn't believe it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have a permanent disability. My finger is permanently bent.
Is that the hand that you hit him with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marcus Bunch wants his medical bills paid after getting punched by a Cowboy Boogie Company bouncer. Owner Jack Wade says his bouncer has a different story.
Now, you, sir, weren't there that evening.
I was there, but I didn't
But
see
you didn't
the
witness
incident,
this. But you did.
no. Yes.
And who are you?
I'm Travis Kelly. I was also there.
Well, let's hear. Stand up here. You first.
Okay. I was at work one night, and I remember this night. It was a Wednesday night, which is usually pretty busy. And Travis, who works the pit, called me down.
What's the pit?
That's where, in front of the DJ booth. That's where we have the platform where we just allow girls to dance.
Okay.
He says he got two guys on there that won't get off. So we went out and we asked him to leave. To get off the platform. And when one of the guys was coming down, he shouldered Travis. Okay? So in other words, he kind of assaulted him with his shoulder. So we wanted to take him outside just to talk to him, which is standard practice.
That is not
We don't
true.
immediately throw people out. So in the course of escorting them to the door, they become very unruly. So we had to grab them, restrain them, and protect the other customers and get them outside. When we get them to the front door, I have to keep the door open. And one of the guys was coming at me, and I put my arm out to stop him. They wanted to come back in the club, and they were coming after me. So I'm just trying to protect myself. And then the girl came after me, at me. Obviously, if I hit her, I would have killed her. Obviously.
So what'd you do to her?
I just she ran into my arm and
she
fell
fell
down.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of these guys, somebody hit me from the side. I didn't even see it coming. Just it really was nothing. And then he took off running.
Well, that was him.
That
in
was,
case you
I
didn't know.
guess it was. Yeah, it didn't even hurt. It's like somebody slapped me in the face.
So he took off running, and what happened?
I don't have an answer for you there. But I saw the police down there. They were down there talking to the police. And they
Nobody
wanted to
chased
arrest
him?
me. I didn't see. I just got hit me in the eye. So.
Did you chase him?
No, I didn't chase him.
I don't know who it was. It was a bunch of guys in red shirts. That's all I know. They had a lot of employees wearing red shirts, just like the one he's wearing today.
Judge, all I know is I was the only one that was injured. Had any type of injury.
That's
It
not
wasn't
true.
a big deal. It wasn't a big deal to me.
Well, you said he were hit on the side of the face and didn't even
Yeah,
hurt.
that's correct.
And you can't identify either one of these two people as being people who chased
No,
you.
ma'am, I can't. I was running for my life.
And all you saw was some with people who were beating you up in red shirts.
I saw the red shirts. They stand out.
Red shirts.
Red shirts.
Okay. You want to stand up here,
Yeah.
sir?
I'd like to say, first of all, when he said we got off of the bar, the platform, neither one of us put a shoulder in either one of them.
I didn't
And then
think
we
that-
went back to the
I really
table.
didn't think that you did. Didn't you
No,
see the
we
look
didn't.
on my face?
No, we didn't.
But I want to know this, gentlemen. Have you been to this establishment before?
That was my first time there.
And
I
yours?
had been there before.
Well, if you were there before, you sort of knew the rules. Only girls are up on the platform.
I
Why
didn't
did
know
you-
that was the rules.
Well, you took a
I
look
see
up on the platform. How many people were up there?
a lot of people up there.
All girls.
It was a very popular song. No, I
Just
don't
a
know
s-
if it was all girls or not, but there was a lot
But
of
it
people
looked
up
like
there.
all girls. You just told me, sir, a moment ago that you were offended because in this country there shouldn't be any difference between boys and girls, and you should be allowed to be dancing up there too. So
When
that's
they
why
kick-
you were offended.
After they had pulled us down, we looked up there and said, why aren't those people being kicked down also? And that's when he said, because they're all girls.
You mean you couldn't tell that before he told you that they were all girls?
I honestly didn't take a number. I didn't count them and say, look, there was all girls up there. Let's go up there and dance with all these girls.
And what about you?
Yeah, I saw a couple of girls up there, but I'm a guy, and maybe I wanted a date, so I got up there. But the fact of the matter is, when he grabbed me, 2 guys around my ankles, 2 guys around my wrist, another guy choking me. You know, if they would have asked me to leave or told me, you know, and threatened me, like, if you don't leave, I'm going to throw you out. But they didn't say that. They just came over, they threw me down, and then when they got to the door, they threw me past the umbrella.
Did you sue them?
Did I? No.
How come?
The lawyer said he didn't have a case.
Just a second.
At the time, I had, and it was in a car accident, I went to a lawyer. I explained it to the lawyer. He checked into it with him, said they went bankrupt, so there was no case.
So you didn't sue them?
So no, I did not sue them.
This place is making a ton of money. They have advertisements every night. They have a lot of people there, and yet they're in bankruptcy.
Listen to me, sir. I'm asking him some questions. He's a perfectly intelligent man. He can answer these questions himself without assistance from you. Your date. You had a date that night?
Yes, it was my ex-girlfriend.
Was she thrown to the ground?
Yeah, he hit her with the palm of his hand very hard. She walked
like
up.
Like this?
Yeah, with all his force. He hit her. She flew back at least 5 feet, and comes up to my chin. 110 pounds. He had no reason to hit her. He had no reason to hit me. He struck me first. For no reason. I walked back up. I asked if I could get my hat. He said no. We had an exchange of words. I stand back. I step back. He came at me, hit me. Then my girlfriend was standing next to me. He proceeded to hit her with the palm of his hand. She had damage to her chest. She went to the emergency room also.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If I hit her like she said I did, like this, I would have killed her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marcus Bunch says he was acting in self-defense when he hit a Cowboy Boogie Company bouncer.
Now, Mr. Bunch, you are in the difficult position, sir, of having thrown the initial punch in this case and then seeking damages. And seeking damages against somebody that you cannot identify other than red shirts. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Well,
I do think, though, that this is his responsibility as a business owner to interview his personnel, to make sure that they're qualified, to train them properly so that they do not lose their temper.
You have 2 problems, sir. A, you threw the first punch at his employee, and B, you cannot, to my satisfaction, identify his employees as the people who beat you up. It seems strange to me that somebody who was badly injured, as you say you were, did not take themselves down to the police precinct on the very next day and demand to file a complaint against the people who you say assaulted you so that they could be arrested and prosecuted for assault. You clearly knew enough how to file a civil proceeding, which requires the same kind of acumen.
I'm just learning this. I'm only 25 years old. I wasn't aware of my options. We tried to file a complaint against these people when the police were there, and they would not allow us to do so.
I don't believe that that's true.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't file a complaint against him, sir, because I just told you. I'm not repeating it. You assaulted him.
We wanted him arrested.
We?
For assault.
Who's we?
Myself and Michelle Chippy.
I'm not interested in them.
Okay.
Their case is not before me. They chose not to sue anybody. Only you chose to sue them.
Now, I can establish that they were bouncers that worked for this club, that were the ones that came out.
I'm prepared to hear you.
Okay, because in the police report, it states that, and I can give this to you. And
I'd like to see the police report.
It established that they were the bouncers that detained me until the police arrived.
Just a second. Well, the first thing that you say is that you've outlined for me. It says, he ran but was caught by unknown security employees and held pending our arrival. You've outlined that, right? And that statement is attributed to you. It says, Bunch said. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
So then you said that. It's the same thing that you just said to me here. You indicated to me that this report would prove that it was employees who did that. So far, this is just your statement to the police. Am I correct?
So far, yes. Your
Okay.
Honor.
Who's something SSMAN?
Suspect Hammond, which is John Hammond here.
That's you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The only thing this says is suspect Hammond related the same information and added that they chased down suspect Bunch after Bunch fled after striking Judas, that's you,
That's me.
in the face. Is
Yes,
that
Your
right?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you see that whole incident where they were beating him up, sir?
I couldn't see. I saw them chasing after him. I did not see them beat him. I saw them chase him.
Ah, okay. Who's they?
The bouncers of the Cowboy Boogie,
Who are not here?
who are not here.
Okay.
But if they were here, I could tell you who they were.
Okay. But you didn't see any of them assaulting him?
Not behind it. No, I did not. Not out in the parking lot.
Okay.
We were on the ground behind cars,
Yeah,
Your
I
Honor.
couldn't see behind
Okay.
I was very far away from the front door at that point.
You don't have to explain to me. I'm asking whether he saw anything, sir. Seeing something gives me information. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This doesn't prove to me, sir, any of the things that you said that it was going to prove. We're still faced with a situation where you assaulted his employee first. You punched him in the face.
As a direct response to a threat, I thought I was going to
I don't believe that, sir. What I believe happened was you saw your two friends getting shoved hard. I don't believe he punched the girl. I believe, even according to this witness,
Can I
he
say
pushed
something,
her.
Your Honor?
You say nothing. Say nothing. You've told me your story, Mr. Bunch.
Can I show you the push that he did? Can I show you
To
how
whom?
he pushed her? Michelle Chippy.
It doesn't make any difference, sir.
He went like this and like that in her chest. If you call that a push, I call that a punch. Whether it's an open fist or a closed fist,
Then you
that's a
punched him in the
punch.
face.
Because he turned towards me.
I don't believe that, sir. That,
Your
sir.
Honor,
What I
I'm
believe.
not a fighter. I do not have a record for fighting. I've never been arrested for such. I'm not a fighter. I wanted to get out of there. He came towards me
Sir, you
before I had
started,
a
listen to
second.
me, Mr. Bunch. You
Yes,
started
ma'am.
this whole problem, sir, when they told you to get off the dance floor, and you started by saying to a man who's probably twice your size, okay, hoss.
We got down.
Just a second. Just a second. That's what you just told me you did, right? And after there was an altercation, and I'm not so sure whether you all acted absolutely appropriately, you know, in making a big deal out of this thing. But there's no question that you hit him first.
But
And
he
I
hit
don't
two
believe,
other people first.
sir, he didn't hit her.
Yes, he did.
I had enough. Mr. Bunch, this happened a year ago. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
This happened a year ago.
Yes, Your Honor. And I have a permanent disability. My finger is permanently bent because
Is that
of
the,
this.
just a second, Mr. Bunch, is that the hand that you hit him with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. There you go.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Have to say a word.
And on the next Judge Judy,
He's on Wisenin versus Concepcion. Step forward, please.
bail bondsman Gene Wisenant claims Frank and Eleanor Concepcion owe him bail money and that Frank bit his finger when he tried to arrest him.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Judge, this is number 277 on the calendar in the matter of Wisenin versus Concepcion. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Wisenant, you are a bail bondsman.
Yes, ma'am.
This lady came to you because her husband, I suppose that's you,
Yes.
correct? Was arrested.
She actually, Maria is my subagent who actually wrote the bond.
You came to her
Well, I called her
because your husband was in jail. What was he arrested for?
for possession of stolen property.
Possession of stolen property is what he was arrested for. He was being held on how much bail?
25.
$25,000.
There's one other charge there, Your Honor. It was PC 273.5, which is domestic violence.
So possession of stolen property and beating up his wife.
Actually, I believe it was his sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Because that's heavy bail. $25,000. Anyway, you charge 10%.
That is correct.
And you agreed to post the bail for him.
Yes, ma'am.
So he could get out of jail, right?
Right.
That was a nice thing for them to do.
It's her job.
Your fee, that's his job. For which he gets what?
For which he gets 10.
Paid.
Right. Gets paid.
And at the time your wife came in, all she had was $1,300. But they agreed to go ahead and post the bail anyway.
Right.
Correct.
And there was an agreement, and what was the agreement about the rest of the bail, sir?
It was a signed promissory note to have the remaining balance of $1,300 paid in full by May 2nd.
And how many days after that?
That was actually 4 days after the bond was posted, and that was a date that was agreed upon by Maria, the agent writing the bail, and Eleanor.
May I see it, please? So, Ms. Concepcion, you signed this promissory note to come in 4 days later and post the rest of the bail.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Did you?
I tried. That I didn't. No.
You didn't?
No.
And you, sir, got out of jail.
Yes.
Did you go in and post the money?
No, I didn't. I told her, directly, I told her, I said, there's no possible way that I'm going to be able to have that money for you. Now, is there a way that we can make arrangements for the balance? Payments such as, $200 a month.
Just a second. These aren't your relatives. They're in business.
But, Your Honor, she told me that if I had any problems making the payments, she could make arrangements.
Correct. But when I had also spoken to her and we did the promissory note, I told her to tell me the date that she can come up with this money. So I gave her an option to either pay it off in full or do payments. And she told me that she could come up with the money by May 2nd, which was a couple days later.
Okay. Now listen. The most important thing for you was to get your husband out of jail.
Yes.
You signed this piece of paper that promised that you would make the payment to the bail bondsman, who stands to lose all the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not just this little bit of money, but $25,000.
That is correct.
Because you are ensuring that he's going to show up and do the right thing.
Yes, ma'am.
That's his business.
Okay.
So you got what you needed momentarily, which was to get out of jail. You promised whatever you had to promise, and then you didn't pay it. How many times have you been arrested? Can't try to count on one hand.
No.
How many
I haven't been
times?
arrested that many times.
So you know the drill.
Not really.
Are you sure you do? How old are you?
37.
You've been arrested more than 3 times, sir? Make sure you tell me the truth.
Actually about 3 times.
Yeah, the money issue was actually secondary on...
I know.
Okay.
Because your lawsuit says that he didn't show up
To sign the paperwork, that is correct.
to sign the paperwork, and he was supposed to.
There's also
That's
another.
this other form.
Can I see that, please?
His wife signed. Sorry about that.
Now, you signed this paper agreeing that you would produce your husband in their office within 48 hours of his release to sign the remainder of the paperwork. Right?
Right. But she told me, because I didn't have the money, she told me not to go in.
Did you ever tell her not to come in?
No.
Baloney! Baloney! She never told you not to bring him in to sign the rest of the paperwork? Paperwork
that's
is
what happened.
what he has to have.
When I spoke to her, why wouldn't she tell me this? She told me she
Just a second, sir. Were you told by your wife that you had to go in within 2 days to sign some paperwork?
No.
Baloney. Baloney. You
I
know,
don't think
there's a
so.
certain common sense, sir. You've been in jail before, you've been arrested before, you've had bond posted before. You know the drill.
She told me about taking a picture, yes, okay.
Right.
But like I said, I
Just a
spoke
second.
to this woman
Yeah.
personally.
Your wife told you that you had to go in and sign some paperwork and have your picture taken. So the answer is yes. Right?
Picture taken, yes.
Did you go?
Did we don't know?
No, because we didn't have the money.
This says when you're released within 48 hours, you have to come to his office. Is that what it says?
Correct.
It is in English. Clear as a bell. So don't tell me
I
about going to
understand
court
that.
the
No,
next
I
day.
understand that, but she told us not to come in because
There was
we
a lot
making
of
a trip
things
for
said
nothing.
verbally.
I would call her and she would tell me she would come in the next day. There was no one, she never ever came in. I kept calling, telling me that her check or whatever, for whatever which reasons, she didn't have the money. And I told her, okay, if you don't have the money, come in and we can make payment
You
arrangements.
told me
but
you were
he
gonna
needs
arrest
to
me.
Come in.
Hey,
If the paper on the agreement said, on that agreement that we just handed to you, said if he didn't come in within 48 hours, then we could arrest him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's trying to put his finger in my eyes. Instinct, I bite on that finger.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bail bondsman Gene Wisenant says Frank Concepcion owes him bail money. When Gene went to collect, Frank says there was an altercation over a gun.
tell me what happened when you went to arrest
Okay,
him.
here we go.
There were 2 times. The first night was on a Wednesday, the 14th, I believe. I went to the mother-in-law's house, which was listed as his residential address. I went there, I saw Eleanor, and I saw his mother-in-law, and a number of other people there. I went through the house, he wasn't there. Gave Eleanor and her mother my business cards with instructions to have Frank call me when he came back in.
You're a liar, man.
Shh. Hey, I want you to be quiet, sir. Don't talk to him. You're going to have a chance to speak. How much after you posted the bail for him did you go to effectuate the arrest?
About 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks.
Okay. And in that 2.5 to 3 weeks' time, had he come in to make any payment whatsoever?
No, ma'am. As a matter of
Had
fact,
his wife come in to make any payment whatsoever?
no, ma'am.
Okay. So you went to arrest him. And tell me what happened when you got there.
Got to the house. We were watching the house. Maria was the driver. I was going to effect the arrest. I had Maria move the car. I was standing in the shadow next to the side of the house when Maria pulled to the light to square the block and come back on a different location. Frank's, as I find out later, it was Frank's younger brother comes out, sees her pull away, yells something out. Frank goes running across the street, out to the front door, across the street to his parked car. That is correct. I yelled out his name. I yelled his name again and ordered him to stop. He turned around, looked over his shoulder at me, ran back towards the house. I stopped him in the driveway, side of the house in the side driveway. We rolled to the ground. As we were rolling, I felt his hand go for my gun. I clamped his hand. At that point, I basically gave up on the encounter. My whole goal, my whole purpose in life at that point was to hold the gun in the holster, not allow the gun to get out. I had his left hand clamped to my gun and my gun pressed down in the holster. He was able to straddle my body, get his right hand around my throat.
Tell the truth now.
I'm going to throw you out of the courtroom. Take your hands out of your pockets and be quiet. You're going to have your opportunity, sir, to tell me your version of the story. How many times do I have to tell you that?
Okay, continue.
He's got his hand on my throat and his other hand on my gun. I put my hand up to his head. I can still feel the ridge of his eye socket under my thumb, with the intention of rolling my thumb in. I rolled my hand down across his face to rock his head back and force him off of me. When my hand came down across his face, he clamped down on my left index finger. Still have a scar on each side. He clamped down. I felt his jaw rake across it. His brother then got up to my right side. I felt his brother pry at my hand on the gun, and either I hit him with my elbow or I kneed him with my knee.
Must be his auntie.
My hand got free at that point.
Do me a favor. Would you stand behind him? Because I want to get this case over with, so I don't want to throw him out of the courtroom. But maybe your presence is there, Officer Byrd, will remind him to keep his mouth shut until it's his turn.
I don't think so.
Go ahead.
When he yelled out, I was able to get my hand free. I pried his hand off my throat. At that point, I guess he felt he was losing control. He tried to stand up. Because I was holding both of his hands, he pulled me up as well. His brother put up both his hands on my chest and pushed me back to the ground, struck me trying to hit my groin missing. Frank got up, took 2 or 3 steps. I either pushed or punched his brother again to get him off of me. Frank took a step back and yelled, "Don't hit my brother." I was able to get up. Frank ran to his car across the street. Maria was parked in the middle of the street on the phone with the local police department. She witnessed the whole thing. Frank got away that night, and then I went straight from there. Police officer responded about 10 or 15 minutes later, took a report, and I went directly to the emergency room to get medical care for my finger.
So the remainder of your lawsuit is for the bite?
The bite, yes, ma'am.
Okay, now it's your turn.
Okay, first of all, we talked on the phone, and this is after 2 weeks. We spoke on the phone. I have not yet even spoke to this man. I spoke to her, and her and my wife were talking. We agreed to come down to their office at that evening. The call was about 4 o'clock. We agreed to be there about 8 o'clock. I left the house. I told her, I said, we'll go down there, meet me down there at 8 o'clock. I have to go to my father's and run some errands, okay, for my father. Okay, this was at my father's place. Okay, he came, I went outside. I was leaving after I ran the errands for my father, okay. This was nighttime already, it was dark. I go to my car, it was parked across the street, okay. As I'm going across the street, it's dark too, there's not many lights out there. Now, he's hiding behind a bush, okay. All of a sudden, I'm walking across the street, I'm in the middle of the street, and somebody says, "Hold it. You move it, I'll shoot." He got his .357 out, pointing right at me, okay. And I look at him, I don't know who he is. He never identified himself at all, okay. I don't know who the heck, he could be trying to rob me, you know. I run, I take off. As I'm running back towards my place, okay, the garage, I turn around, because he's right behind me, I turn around and smack him one. Okay, then I pick him up and I throw him, body slam him on my garage. Okay, at this point, he's going for his gun again. Now, when he goes for his gun, I put my elbow up in his throat, okay, and I'm grabbing for the gun, because I'm going to take it from him before he shoots me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're wrong about that.
I'm wrong. I was wrong once in
Your Honor,
1947.
You're wrong again in 1998.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bail bondsman Gene Wisenant says Frank Concepcion tried to jump bail. When he tried to collect, an altercation ensued.
Just tell me your version of what happened that day.
This man's going for his gun like it was the thing to do, like he's some super cop or something. You ain't about nothing though. But I'm gonna tell you, okay, as I'm going for his gun, all right? And this time he's got, like he said, he's trying to put his finger in my eyes. Instinct, I bite on that finger, all right? Then I pull the gun out from his holster and toss it in the bush. Now, I don't want some accident to happen because this guy's acting like a fool out. Would just pull out his gun, you know, like he thinks he can do this. I haven't jumped bail. I haven't missed my court date. I haven't even had my court date yet. And he's coming at me with a gun?
Okay. Now, I have a couple of questions for you, sir. You were running errands for your father, and you were supposed to be at his office. Shut! Just pay attention to me.
Okay.
You were supposed to be at his office at 8 o'clock. That was the plan. That's what you told me, correct?
Right, correct.
Did you go to his office at 8 o'clock? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
Right. Because when he came to your house, it was after 8 o'clock, correct?
No, it was before 8 o'clock.
What time? What time?
7:30, 20 till.
But he had came
Just
to the
a
house
second.
before
Just
me.
a second. Hey,
I was there.
Just answer my... Listen
was
to me.
there.
Listen to me. Truth of the matter is, the two of you had absolutely no intention of going to his office
Yes,
at
I
8 o'clock.
did. I was going.
Yeah,
It only
you-
takes 15 minutes to get there.
Oh, baloney.
They had no intentions of meeting us at their office.
It was all set up.
Listen to me. It may have been a setup, but you had no intention of going there, paying the money, and having your picture taken, and
It
filling
wasn't
out the
about
rest of the
paying
paper.
money. It wasn't about paying money.
It's about
It was
making
about
a
signing
contract.
a contract to pay $200 a month
All right.
for the rebalance.
Okay,
of
let's go. Let's finish up that. And let me get to the next thing that's troubling me about your version of this story, sir. When you first started to tell me the story, you told me he was hiding in the bushes, which means that you saw him hiding in the bushes.
No.
And, well, then how did you know he was hiding in the bushes?
Because I crossed the street and he said, hold it, move and I'll shoot. That's when I looked and he was hiding in the bushes.
I see. So you saw him hiding in the bushes. What did you say no for? You saw him hiding in the bushes, right?
Okay.
Then you just went through a whole story about where does he come off taking out his gun. It's only a bail and I hadn't missed my court date. Isn't that what you just told me?
That's correct.
Right. Just a minute. But then at the beginning of the story that you were telling me you thought he was a robber. There to rob you. How could he be a robber and a bail bondsman at the same time?
He never identified himself. I told you. You're not listening to me.
No, I'm listening to you, sir.
No, I told you he did not identify himself. He never had.
You said to me, where does he come off pulling a gun, a .357 Magnum on me, as a bail bondsman?
I'm speaking after the fact already, okay?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen, I've heard both stories. A, you owe him the money for the bail, because that's what you promised, madam, to pay him. That's the written... Stand closer to him.
Stand as close as you want, brother.
That's what you promised. That's what you agreed. You agreed to come in and pay $1,200. Right?
Right.
So that's what you owe him. And what I am finding, based upon common sense is that he got out of jail and he said, let him come find me.
No,
That,
you're wrong.
Sure.
You're wrong
Didn't
about
come
that.
in. I'm wrong. I was wrong once in
Your Honor,
1947.
You're wrong
But
again
since
in
1947, I didn't. You are suing, sir, for assault. It's
Yes,
clear
sir.
to me from his own version of what happened that he knew exactly who you are when you stopped him, that he was avoiding you, that the family was avoiding you, and that you were effectuating a lawful arrest in order to secure your bail, because it was now 2.5 to 3 weeks, and the person for whom you had posted bail failed to come in to complete the necessary paperwork and failed to keep that part of the agreement that provided for the remainder of the 10% of the bail. So you had an absolute right to go in and effectuate an arrest under the laws in this jurisdiction, and you were assaulted. And I believe that he knew who you were, that what he should have done was stop immediately. He did not do that. Based upon his own statement.
Do you believe he identified himself?
I'm not here to answer your questions. You answer my questions. Based upon his own statement, he turned around and struck you before you struck him. He said that, not you. He says he turned around and assaulted you. So I'm granting you your judgment for $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy,
Parties on Senna versus McClain. Step forward, please.
37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McClain. Deborah charges that Ms. McClain failed to honor an agreement to enter her daughter Christina in a beauty pageant. Debbie McClain says there was no arrangement. The money was for a sponsorship.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, this is case number 237 on the calendar in the matter of Senna versus McClain. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Let me see if I understand this complaint. Miss Senna, you have a young daughter.
Yes, I do.
This is your daughter, Miss McClain.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter had been involved in modeling as a younger child, and probably even today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, Miss Senna, don't look at your papers. Look at me. According to your complaint, you two ladies became acquainted. You were approached by the defendant, asked if you would like to sponsor her daughter in an upcoming beauty pageant. Is that right?
Yes.
And what was the sponsorship cost?
Well, I guess the sponsorship was, I asked her, she said $185.
So that's what it cost to
yes,
sponsor.
ma'am.
And what else did she say to you?
That she would put my daughter in a beauty pageant that she was running, that she was having, and she would be able to get my daughter into another beauty pageant if she was to get into this first one. which was at the Fallbrook Community Center.
So according to you, you had an agreement with her that if you sponsored her daughter at the cost of $185, she would make sure that your daughter would be in a beauty pageant.
Yes.
And that's why you sponsored her.
Yes.
And you say...
And I say, yes, she did sponsor my daughter. My daughter had gone to her. She was babysitting for her at the time. And she sponsored my daughter to be in a beauty pageant. My daughter did go into the beauty pageant. She won the beauty pageant. At about 2 months later, I did tell her I was going to have a preliminary pageant for another state pageant, and that I would in turn let her daughter go into the pageant at no cost. But at the time my daughter had won this one, we didn't even know we were going to have a beauty pageant. At the time I was supposed to have the beauty pageant, I didn't have it. My mother's mother, my grandmother, had died, and I couldn't have the pageant, and I had to go to Kentucky for the funeral, so I didn't.
So there was never another pageant which this lovely little girl in purple could participate?
Deborah Senna had called me quite a few times and said that once she found out I was not going to have the Fallbrook pageant, said that I promised her. I said, I told you your daughter could be at a pageant at no cost, and I told her that I would just put her daughter in the state pageant with no.
So there was some sort of an understanding that her daughter was going to be in a beauty pageant with your assistance.
Not at the time of her sponsorship, but that was not a gift. That was a gift to Casey. It was 2 months later. I told her I would, since she did sponsor Casey, I would put her daughter in a pageant, but that was not a stipulation.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I want to know at the time that you, by the way, I assume you have proof of this $185.
Yes,
you have a cancel check?
Yes.
Well, then could you tell me why you're suing her for $300 and some odd dollars?
Well, $185 was for the check, and then the $100 for my daughter. And
$100 for your daughter for what?
Just because my daughter talked about this pageant. Her daughter, Casey, came to my house and babysat and had my daughter all pumped up for this pageant. She had my daughter walking with books on her head, getting her ready and telling her what to do for this pageant. She talked about it to her friends. She was heartbroken about this.
So it's for sort of punitive damages that you're asking money for?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're countersuing her for $2,500 for some nonsense because you say she harassed you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how did she harass you?
When she would call my house repeatedly, sometimes 3-4 times a day. She would swear. The swearing was unbelievable. She came into my place of employment, went to my boss, stated facts that weren't true.
Like what? Were you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
She said that I was a bitch and I was a whore, and that I had no reasonable reason to be a mother, and that I owed her money, and that Ron, my boss, should get the money from me. And she would call my house.
Does that sound familiar?
No, absolutely not, Your Honor. That is a big lie. That is a big lie.
You?
Your Honor. Well, the things on the phone, she repeatedly called me. She told me I was a whore just like my mother. Called me an F&B. And I've been taught to give adults respect, but I expect respect from them. And it's something me and my mother have not been getting from her.
Did you make those statements to this young lady?
No, ma'am, I did not. I called, and Casey told me on the telephone, I cannot talk to you about this.
Are you in a business?
I have a business, Tony's Masonry. It's my husband's business.
When you sponsored someone,
yes,
their name appears on a program or something. Do you have that program?
I never got a program, ma'am.
Do you have it?
I don't have a program. It happened 1.5 years ago. We recently moved 5 months ago. But I do have a copy of a normal sponsorship agreement saying that there was no refunds are available.
Just a second. That's not what I'm asking you. I asked you one thing. I asked you for apples. You gave me mashed potatoes.
I'm sorry.
Okay? What I asked you is, I assume, put it down. I assume that if your daughter is in the pageant industry, that you keep a scrapbook. And I assume that you keep all the memorabilia from all of her pageants. That only sounds like common sense to me. Put your hand down. I'm really smart. So I assume you have all of the books from your daughter's pageant?
5 months ago, we moved and I told Casey to get rid of all of that stuff she was collecting.
How many pageants have you been in?
Around 15.
That's not a lot to keep, especially one that you won. You understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Especially a pageant that you won, you don't get rid of. You keep this, but you keep the crown, but you don't keep the program.
Right.
That doesn't sound logical to me. Why didn't you pay for this $185 yourself?
I didn't even start this process. Casey went to Deborah and asked for a sponsorship.
Did you initially have the conversation with her?
Yes, I did.
When?
One time I was babysitting for her daughter.
And what did you say to her?
I said, Debbie, I'm entering a beauty pageant, and if I would like to be in it, I have to pay for it myself or figure out a sponsorship to go into the pageant. So I asked Debbie, since I was babysitting her daughter, if she would sponsor me. And not at that time, I said that she could be in a beauty pageant.
And what did she say?
She said she'd love to. And it was out of her business, too.
She said she would love to.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I really wish Debbie Sinha would shut up.
You know what? That's respect.
Well, you don't give me respect, Debbie.
You don't deserve it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McLean over a beauty pageant which her daughter Christina was to enter. Debbie McLean says she was paying for her daughter Casey's sponsorship, not for Deborah's daughter Christina to be in another pageant.
So when did she have a conversation with your mother?
I believe she had a conversation with my mother on the phone, seeing if it was fine, see if I asked Debbie, and then we went to her house to pick up the check.
Together?
Yes.
Does that sound right to you?
Your Honor?
Miss Sena, look at me.
Does not.
She did not speak to you first
No, she did
about
not.
it?
No, she did not. I spoke to her mother on the telephone. We were talking about sponsoring. One was contingent to the other.
No, that's not what I asked you, Miss Sena.
And, I'm sorry.
This young lady says that she asked you first to be her sponsor.
No, she did not. Her mother and I spoke about it on the telephone while I talked to her mother about having her daughter babysit for me. That's how that happened.
Okay, we don't have to take very long with this. Giving your story the best possible scenario. Okay, your story. You agreed to sponsor her, and she agreed that in the future, sometime in the future, your daughter was going to be in a pageant that she was going to run.
No, ma'am.
No, yes, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't the same pageant, it was a second pageant.
It was the fabric pageant.
It was another pageant that never took place. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. So the other pageant never took place, and therefore she could not fulfill that part of even assuming your agreement unless you can establish to my satisfaction that it was owing to her fault and her fault alone, her negligence, that second pageant didn't take place. You're out $185.
If
you sponsored her daughter. Now, I'm not 100% satisfied that both of these young ladies telling me the truth. And that includes you. You understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Because as sweet and as adorable as you look, I think you're a pretty good actress. That's because I have daughters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I know daughters can be pretty good actresses. But Miss Sena, I know your daughter is disappointed. I know she's unhappy, but you didn't have a writing with this lady that one was contingent on the other.
I have a witness that heard her say this in my house when I presented the check to her.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do, ma'am. She's
I'd
right
like
here.
to hear the witness.
My friend's name is Maria.
Maria, you step up here. Now, Maria what?
She came over to...
No, Maria what? Your
Maria
last name?
Cazares. Cazares? Your Honor, she came to Deborah's house, and we had just gotten there, and...
Who's we?
Me and Deborah. And she came over, and her daughter came in the house, and she says her daughter and Christina went outside to look at the pool, and she said, Deborah gave her the check, and Debbie said, okay, and this is for you're sponsoring my daughter, and in return, I will put Christina in the Fallbrook pageant.
Are you telling me that she said, in return, are those the words, listen to me, are those specifically the words that you remember as you stand here under oath? You remember her saying to you, and in return, I will put your daughter?
Yes,
Maria.
I do, Your Honor.
What makes you remember that so vividly, madam?
Because it was a big thing with Christina. She was telling everybody. She was,
I didn't ask you why it was important to the child. I asked you, what makes it so clear in your mind that you can stand here today under oath and you tell me that you specifically remember her using the words, in return for?
Because I remember her saying that.
And how long ago was this?
In May.
Mm-hmm. Of this year?
Yep. Last year. Not this year, 96.
I'm not sure whether I believe that. In any event, I think that this is a sad situation. Did you write a business check for this $185?
Yes, I did, ma'am. Your Honor?
Yeah.
May I say something, please?
Sure.
When Deborah came into my home and Maria heard her, Deborah the kids were in the backyard and she came in the house and she took my check so fast, and she did say she's going to, in return, put my daughter into her beauty pageant.
Yep, she didn't have a beauty pageant.
And she took out.
Just
Yes,
a
she
second.
didn't.
She didn't have one. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No, but that's why I did the sponsoring.
No, but just a second. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No. And that's why I did it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Her daughter is one of the biggest brats I've ever known in my life.
She's a brat. Look at you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McLean. Deborah charges that Ms. McLean failed to honor an agreement to enter her daughter Christina in a beauty pageant. Debbie McLean says there was no arrangement. The money was for a sponsorship.
Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No. And I really feel really taken, and I'm sorry that it had to be this way, because I just wouldn't be here if I didn't feel that I was, I wouldn't be...
Taken.
Right.
You think that Miss Sena feels as if she was taken? Miss McLean?
I believe she feels like she was taken.
Okay. Now, she feels as if she was taken because she was led to believe by you, led to believe that her little girl was going to have an opportunity to be in a beauty pageant. That's correct?
That's
Is that correct?
What she believes, yes, ma'am.
Is that correct? Okay. And you did not fulfill that part of the agreement because you say your grandmother died.
It wasn't a part of the agreement at the time of the sponsorship.
Let us assume she believed that based upon everything, that was why she was giving you $185.
That's what she believes, yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, you say you led some credence to that because you, in your answer, say, well, the other pageant didn't take place because I had some personal problems.
I said she could be in it at no cost 2 months later. Yes, ma'am.
At no cost because you were arranging it.
Yes, ma'am.
But then you didn't arrange it.
I was unable to fulfill my obligation having the pageant, and it did upset quite a few young ladies, and it upset me that I couldn't have it.
Good.
But I did have a
But
death
none
in
of
the
those
family.
other ladies that it upset had given you $185.
Had given my daughter, yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can understand why she's upset.
Yes, ma'am, I
And you can understand why her little girl is upset.
Yes, ma'am, I can.
All right? All right. Miss Sena, I'm not exactly sure that I'm getting the truth, the 100% truth from you or from you. I know what you thought. And I know you thought that you got taken, because I don't think otherwise you would have sponsored, you would have given her a check for $185. How much did you used to pay her for babysitting?
I paid her $350, and I always paid Casey really good because my daughter always liked her. And I really do feel taken.
Why didn't you save the money from babysitting for sponsor money?
Because I used all the extra, like all my babysitting money as what a regular teenager would do.
Well, why didn't you save it for your sponsorship?
Because I didn't, when I was babysitting her, I really didn't think I was going to be in this beauty pageant. It was at the last minute thing.
Oh, why was it at the last minute?
Because I didn't get the entry form until late.
So that you didn't have any money?
Right, for myself.
So, and you wanted to do it very badly?
Yes, I did.
Now, sort of, now the common sense part is coming together, so that you went to her immediately.
Right.
This lady immediately.
Right.
All right. Very good. I understand.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, Ms. Sania, I do believe that you are entitled to $185 from these people. I don't believe you're entitled to any more. I don't believe you're entitled to compensation for your daughter's pain and suffering or anything else. And I am dismissing your counterclaim for $2,500. So, I'm going to tell you one other thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Telling the truth is very important.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
Some people have a special gift. They may be very dumb at certain things, but some people can tell when somebody is lying to them. It's one thing when older people lie. I don't know, sometimes I think that it's reasonable. It certainly sets a bad example. It certainly sets a bad example.
She is not lying, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Well, I'm not sure.
I'm not so sure that the agreement that you two ladies made with your daughter, either present or outside the room, gave this lady the distinct impression that if she was going to shell over $185, it was with the understanding and assurance that it's a future date and a future pageant. Her little girl was going to have the same opportunity to go around and prance around on stage and be in a pageant. And that's why you showed her how to walk, showed her how to move, showed her how to do all those things. That's what the inducement was. That was the inducement.
That was, but it was not a contingency. At the time when she sponsored my daughter, I did not even know I was going to have a beauty pageant.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount of $185. That's all.
You're excused. You may step out.
That's not
Let's get out of here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Parties on Fuller versus Lewanig. Step forward, please.
51-year-old Doris Fuller is suing chemical engineer Ray Lewanig to recoup costs for supporting his daughter, Roshika Lewanig, now 18. Ray says Doris took his daughter without permission.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 374 on the calendar in the matter of Fuller versus Lewanig. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may have a seat.
Miss Fuller, you're suing the defendant because you allege that he owes you money for the year that his daughter lived with you.
That's correct.
Now, this was sort of an interesting story. You took her into your home without his permission. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, why don't you tell me how that came about?
She wanted to finish her last year of high school down here to play basketball.
Where is down here?
She was at Paramount at the time, but I live in Dominguez District. She ran away before her father moved to Victorville with her friend. Her father went over there, caused a big scene, had the police involved.
Because his daughter ran away?
Yes. Rashika called her mother in Arkansas and had...
Sir, you and your daughter's mother are divorced, is that right?
We were divorced, ma'am. That's right.
And your daughter was living with you?
She let me keep her for the meantime. She wants to go down.
She was, in fact, at the time that we're talking about, living with you when she ran away.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is the daughter? That's you.
Rashika.
Now, how did you get involved with her?
Through basketball. I met Rashika when she was playing basketball with my daughter. I was the team mother for Paramount's basketball team. They didn't have a lot of support, and I went to all the girls' games. I took the
So that's how you got involved with her?
Yes.
So now we're up to a point where she ran away from her father's house.
Yes.
And somehow contacted you.
Yes.
And you said you can come and live with me.
I talked to her mother in Arkansas.
You didn't speak to her father?
No.
You called her mother?
Rashika called her mother.
Rashika called her mother, with whom she wasn't living at the time?
No.
And her mother gave you permission for her to live in your
Yes,
house?
I have the notarized. She came the next day. I have the authorization.
Okay. And she signed papers, her mother signed papers for her to live in your house?
Yes, and then we went to court, and the court gave me temporary guardianship.
Okay. With her mother's permission?
Yes.
But according to your papers, not with her father's permission?
No.
Father was not happy about this. Is that right, sir?
That's true. He said he didn't know where she was.
So how long did she stay with you?
From June the 17th, 1996 until June the 22nd, 1997.
Now, according to your papers, she played you like a violin.
Yes, she did.
You didn't know that at the time.
No. I looked at that beautiful face, Your Honor, and I believed everything she told me.
Now, you believed everything, all the bad things she told you about her father, that he didn't understand her, that he was verbally abusive to her. You believed all that?
When I first met Rashika, I could see that she was unhappy. She was crying a lot. I could tell she was an unhappy child.
So, Ms. Fuller, my question to you is, you interfered with a family situation. Because when she finally left your home,
yes,
she went back to her father, right?
Yes, after she graduated from high school, she went to college.
But she went back to her father.
Yes, he gave her a car and offered her money, and she left.
Whatever, she went back to her father.
Yes.
So this was a teenager in rebellion. She left her mother's house, right, to go to live with her father? Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am. That's true.
How long have you been divorced from her mother?
Oh, about 15 years.
And how long had she lived with her mother?
14.
And how many years did she live with you?
About a year and a half until she met Miss Fuller.
Yes.
Rashika's mom told me that she was financially unable to care for Rashika and her sister Renisha. That's when she sent them out here. This is what her mom said.
Doesn't sound right to me. You don't send two children to their father after they've been living with you for 15 years or for 14 years because you're financially unable to take care of them.
She said she had had an accident and was hurt and wasn't able to take care
Well,
of them.
when you met her, when she came to sign the guardianship papers,
yes,
did she appear to be injured to you?
Maybe.
What does maybe mean?
She seemed to, like she had a head injury, maybe.
She didn't have a head injury that prevented her from signing these guardianship papers.
No.
Or from understanding that she was turning over legal custody to you of her daughter.
She told me she was unable to care for her. Her
Okay.
father was abusive.
All right. I assume you have at least one teenage daughter?
Yes.
Just so you know that teenage daughters can be difficult sometimes? Well, yours aren't difficult.
My youngest one wasn't.
And what about the older one?
Well, they did good. All my children graduated from high school.
I didn't
never
ask-
really had any problems with
Well,
them.
then you should be written up in Guinness Book of Records because
I
most
was
women,
very lucky.
most mothers who have teenage daughters know that they're a little difficult at times.
I was very lucky.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
At the time, I felt he didn't understand, but now that I see it, and I'm, in college, and I see my sister going through getting disciplined, I understand she needs it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Doris Fuller wants Ray Lewanig to pay her for taking care of his daughter, Roshika. Ray says she took his daughter without his permission.
Now, I want to know why you think that this man ought to pay you anything.
Well, for child support, when the courts gave me temporary custody of Rashika, the judge sent us, Ray and Rashika and I, to go talk. We went to the IHOP in Compton. He offered me $400 a month child support. I said that was fine. Rashika and her dad left. When she came back, I asked her for the check. She was hesitant to give it
What
to me.
month was this?
In May.
That was a month before she left?
Yes.
Well, why are you suing for $4,200 if I believe you that you say he agreed to pay you $400 a month and then his daughter went back to him within a month? Why should I give you $4,200?
I had her for a year.
Right.
And when she came to play basketball...
I'm not interested in anything else. What I'm really concerned about is you took this child without her father's permission. You discussed the matter with her mother, not her father. Her mother gave you guardianship. You made no attempt, according to what you've told me, to get some child support from her mother, who was the one...
She sent me $75.
She sent you $75. You're suing him for almost $5,000. She was the one who gave you permission to take her daughter without his consent. He didn't even know where she was. Is that right, sir?
That's very true, ma'am.
Were you collecting welfare for her?
No.
Who was covering her medical insurance?
Her father paid her medical insurance. The one time I took her to the doctor, they gave me a $5 payment and I paid that.
So she wasn't on anybody's welfare budget?
No.
Okay, sir. How much money did you give her in total to take care of your daughter after you knew where she was?
Well, I tried to negotiate with her because I saw my daughter in good, condition.
When was that? What month was that?
In May, right after the court hearing. We went to IHOP and I offered her, look, I can only give you $200 a month in front of her because as far as I know, she was with her mom.
You mean before that you thought she had been with her mother?
Uh-huh.
And then you went to court.
I went to court.
This was in May of '97.
Yes, ma'am, May of '97.
And in May of '97, you went to IHOP and had this discussion about support. And how much money did you give her in May?
I didn't give her anything. I offered her $200. And
Right.
I thought she agreed, so I went to the bank with her, gave her the $200.
Did you give?
I explained it to her. I cannot afford $400 because I just moved out. I got 2 young kids now of my own from my new marriage. And she's not in my budget because I know she's gone.
Okay.
Gone back to her mom.
Step up here. You're the daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you go back to your father's house?
After we had in court, we all went out to breakfast and we cried. Sorry.
It's okay. You were ready to go home?
Yeah.
Hmm?
I had seen my little sister and my little brother, and and my father, we talked things out, and I wanted a relationship with him again.
You think that part of the problems that you were having with your dad that caused you to leave were at least in part your fault?
When I was with my mom, I never got disciplined. So when he disciplined me, I rebelled.
When you say he disciplined you?
Grounded me.
Grounded you?
Took my car away.
And your mom never did those things?
No.
That wasn't wrong of him to do, right?
No. Well, at the time, I felt...
You thought it was?
He was just all against me, and he didn't understand, But now that I see it, and I'm, in college, and I see my sister going through getting disciplined, I understand she needs it.
Miss Fuller, let me tell you what you did, madam. You interfered in a family situation. You had no business interfering with this family situation. Took it upon yourself to take this man's daughter, who was living with him, and he seems like a perfectly reasonable, responsible man, and according to his daughter, did absolutely nothing but discipline him in reasonable ways. Grounded her, took away her car, and she wasn't used to it because her mother never did any of those things. Now, the fact that she, to you, was upset and crying and seemed unhappy with her father, that's not a reason for you to interfere in a family situation. I mean, if you took some time and if you let the situation take some time, there is a possibility that father and daughter could have worked things out. But instead, you hopped in there.
Your Honor,
Yes.
when Rashika called me, she told me her father did not have custody of her. Her mother had custody of her.
Miss Fuller, you knew she was living with her father.
Yes. We went to go get Rashika. Her mother and I went to go get Rashika. We took the Southgate police with us because Rashika and her mother said they were afraid for us to go there by themselves because he's a violent man and he had a lot of guns in the home.
Well,
we
listen to
took
me.
the Southgate police with us.
Listen to me. That was all a lot of baloney. She's back with her father. So whatever stories you got from either Rashika or her mother were not true, because if they were, and if she was genuinely fearful of her father because he has a violent temper and because he has guns in the house, she would not be living with him now.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. And later today,
So you got to learn to get your story straight. Before you gave me some baloney story about you said yes, you was going to pay her back, but then your check was all messed up and you couldn't pay her back. Come on, get it together.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Doris Fuller wants Ray Lewanig to pay her for taking care of his daughter, Roshika. Ray says she took his daughter without his permission.
You butted in. And if you butted in, you got to pay. So your lawsuit against this man is dismissed. And I suggest to you that before you take in any other teenagers and take them away from their custodial parents, and he was at that time the custodial parents, you better make darn sure that there is a good and valid reason. And that sometimes means leaving it up to professionals and stepping back. You're a biological stranger from this family. He didn't give his consent. He had absolutely no reason to have his child removed from his custody, other than the fact that, according to her, and I believe her, he disciplined her by grounding her when she did something wrong and by taking her car away. He's her father. He has an absolute right to do that. So, your lawsuit against him is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She took it upon herself. I told her again and again, this is blood related. You're nobody.
You hadn't seen her
I'm
for
the father.
11 months, Ray.
Of course I never saw her because you
didn't-
hid her from me.
No, I didn't.
And now the next case.
Parties on Sanders versus Murray. Step forward, please.
23-year-old Heather Sanders wants her former good friend, 25-year-old Jennifer Murray, to pay her back for the repairs on her car.
You two were good friends?
Yes.
How long had you been friends?
For about 2 years, 2.5 years.
And Miss Murray, you had an accident with your car?
Yes.
What kind of an accident did you have?
Repair problem. The car broke down and it needed some repairs.
So you asked the plaintiff if she would put it on her credit card.
Well, actually, I told her that the car broke down and she said that she could help me out, and then I agreed.
Doesn't sound 100% logical, but let's take it from there. So she put it on her credit card, the repairs, $627, something like that?
About, yeah, $646.
And what was the arrangement as far as paying back this money?
The arrangement was that she was going to pay me half within 2 weeks after the day that it was charged, and then the balance within another 2 weeks, so altogether within a month.
What happened?
I never got any of the money back. Well, I got $100. What happened was a month went by, and she said, well, I have over half of the money, and I'll give you over the half on Wednesday, October the 1st. So I went to her house that day to pick up the money, and she gave me a $100 bill, and she said, well, I don't have any more of the money, and I will pay you back when I can. Stop calling me, stop bugging me. And basically, that was it.
Go ahead.
That's pretty much what happened. She said that I told her that I would pay her back all the money,
And I made arrangements to pay her back a couple of weeks when I got paid. But something happened with my check where I didn't get paid right away like I was supposed to. And I told her that they messed my money up or something. And she said that didn't matter. She wanted her money right then and there. I said, well, my job messed up my check. I don't have it, so I'm going to have to wait another 2 weeks until I get paid.
So why didn't you give it to her after another 2 weeks?
That's when I gave her the $100. I gave her what I could. I didn't have the full amount right away.
Well, what was your arrangement with her?
To originally pay her back after a couple of weeks, but when...
That's not what you said in your answer. Did you forget what you wrote in your answer?
No, she said pay her back whatever I can, but whatever I can, just as long as I pay her back the money.
You know, you keep changing your story, Miss Murray. But bottom line is, you owe her the rest of the money. Total bill was what? $676.14. Is that the bill?
Yes.
Is that the bill?
Yes.
All right.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
I'm just going to remind you, Miss Murray, that you swore in your answer that the agreement was that you put it on the credit card and you would repay back small amounts, small payments, just as long as the statement was covered for the month. And that the reason you didn't pay her back all the money is because then she said she wanted it all back at one time. So you got to learn to get your story straight.
That is what happened.
Well, you didn't tell me that before. Before you gave me some baloney story about it. You said, yes, she was going to pay her back, but then your check was all messed up and you couldn't pay her back. Come on, get it together. Okay. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff in the amount of $576.14. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy. And now the next case.
Parties on Mazer versus Woodbridge. Step forward.
21-year-old student Matthew Mazer says his father's former live-in girlfriend, Pamela Woodbridge, illegally evicted him after his father went to jail.
How old are you, Mr. Mazer?
21.
When did you turn 21?
April 30th.
Now, in May of this past year, you were living with the defendant, correct? And you were living there with your father.
Yes.
And your father and the defendant were engaged to be married or living together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing with yourself in May, sir?
I was beginning to go to college at that time.
What do you mean beginning to go to college? Who begins to go to college in May?
No, I was going to go through summer courses.
That starts in June or July.
Well, registration's in May, though.
That's not a major effort, sir. That's not doing much, going to register for school. It's not necessarily a full-time job. What were you doing with yourself in May?
Nothing at that time.
What were you doing in April?
Well, nothing at that time either, ma'am.
Well, let's try March. What were you doing with yourself in March?
Nothing, preparing to go to school. I was...
You mean getting into the thinking mode? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Mr. Mazer? All right. All this has a purpose, sir. You're suing the defendant because in May, according to both of you, your father got arrested, taken off to jail, leaving you living with a perfect stranger, right?
No, we lived together for 8 months prior to that.
8 months, a lifetime.
We were pretty close. Well, they went out for 2 years before that.
But you were living with them for 8 months.
Yeah.
And your father was, I assume, contributing to the household. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a two-bedroom
yes.
apartment.
Yes.
So after your father was arrested, you were still living there. You are suing her for $4,000. You say she illegally evicted you from the apartment, and she kept your furniture that you bought.
That's correct. It was bought for me by my father.
It was bought and for you. You better get, before you go to college, you better brush up on your English. It was bought for you by your father. Now, what did you expect her to do, Mr. Mazer, when the person who was contributing to half the rent, I assume, half the utilities, is hauled off to jail, leaving her with a total biological stranger to support? because you're on your way preparing yourself for college. What you expect her to do?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I got steroid psychosis because they tried to put me in remission. So I went crazy, and David kind of came into my life, and I didn't know he was a con artist.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Matthew Mazur claims his father's former live-in girlfriend, Pamela Woodbridge, illegally evicted him.
Who are you?
I'm his father.
Terrific. Step up here. Mr. Mazur, how did you expect this lady to take care of business when you were arrested? What were you arrested for?
I wasn't actually arrested. I was taken into custody by the parole department based on some facts that the sheriff's department gave them, which
So
to
you were
date
on
they
parole?
never even filed on.
So you were taken into custody on parole violation.
Right.
Did you spend any time in jail, sir?
Yes, I did.
How much time?
6 months.
What arrangements did you make with the defendant to support the household while you were in jail?
None. It was paid for through the first of the following month, and I didn't anticipate staying in jail very long.
Okay. So she told you that you had to find another place to live because she needed a roommate who could afford to pay at least half the rent.
That's correct.
Sounds right to me.
He was on the lease.
Who put your name on the lease?
She did.
Did you put his name on the lease?
He's listed on the lease as a minor.
Let me ask you this question. How long were you living in this apartment?
I moved in on November 10th of 1996.
And when did he move in?
He moved in, I couldn't
At
put
the
him
same
on the
time.
lease. Right.
Shh. At the same time.
But I couldn't put him on the lease because David has been to prison 2 or 3 times for credit card fraud, and so his credit is ruined.
Now, this young man moved in with you later.
No, he did move in at the same time as
So
well.
you all moved into this apartment together?
Right.
Okay. Mr. Mazur, I assume you moved into this apartment and your arrangement was, because you told me that you did, that you were going to pay the expenses on the apartment. You paid the rent, you paid the utilities, correct? Right? That was your arrangement with this lady. Where had you lived before?
I had a house in Dana Point, and in 1995, I got multiple sclerosis, and my husband of 11 years divorced me. And anyway, to make a long story short, I got steroid psychosis because they tried to put me in remission. So I went crazy, and David kind of came into my life, and I didn't know he was a con artist. He has scammed me out of $180,000. And I have my credit report right here to show.
The question that I'm asking you, and that's all very interesting, is when you moved into this apartment, I assume your arrangement was, because you did it for some 6 months, that you would pay the bills.
Right, and I think
Oh, good. Now, that was the arrangement that you had with us. So then you get hauled off to jail for 6 months, leaving her with the apartment,
And
nobody
I had-
to pay the rent,
I had no,
and your son.
that's where you're wrong. I had $5,000 in cash with me at the time I was arrested.
So what did you
which
do with
was
it?
to pay her attorney to fight for the custody of her children. That
minute, so-
money was taken, and I have this document, was taken in by the Department of Corrections and mailed to me the following day to the jail. For what purpose, I don't know. But I did have...
Did you get $5,000 from him?
No, his parole officer told me that David did have, I think she said $4,000, and she asked him, did he want her to give it to me, and he said no.
Just a minute. Do you have any proof to show me, Mr. Mazur, that you provided the defendant with $5,000 in order to cover the expenses of this apartment while you were away?
Yes.
Don't show me a lot of papers there. Show me where you turned over the money to the defendant to cover the expenses of the apartment.
The apartment part was, here it is right here, $2,993.
Let me see it.
And the sheriff's department kept it. They said they could not give it to her because
Just
they
a minute.
arrested
So
me.
the answer is she didn't get it.
Yes.
So what are you showing me this baloney for? She didn't get it. So what you're telling me is I should take your good intentions into consideration.
No, she rented, but what? The rent was paid to the end of the following month.
All right. She doesn't have to keep your son there not working. Now, furniture. You had furniture?
Well, David had gone out and bought a futon for Matthew on my credit card. Well, it may have been a joint credit card.
Right.
David was doing credit card roulette, basically.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
he went out and bought a futon.
Right.
Is that the only piece of furniture that was bought specifically for Mr. Mazur Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there are other items. What other items, sir, do you say were bought by your father for you?
Not really any other furniture, just a couple tables and...
Tables?
Just,
What
yeah,
tables?
just like end tables.
End tables? What end tables? Talk to me.
His mother took those.
What end tables?
They're just glass end tables, brass.
That your father bought for
brass
his
and glass.
20-year-old son?
No, those were mine when I brought them there.
Okay, so where are they?
His mother took them. She came and picked up his things.
Except the futon.
Exactly.
Which you paid for.
Which I sold.
Which you sold.
Right.
And which was on your credit card.
Yes, ma'am.
Or on a joint credit card.
Right.
Which he wasn't paying from jail.
Right.
Good.
Excuse me, the insurance was paying for it. When she came down with MS, the insurance picked up all the bills. She virtually had no bills with the exception of the rent.
So just a minute. Why should she have any bills? That wasn't your arrangement. Mr. Mazur.
But there is an eviction process you go through in the state of California. You just don't throw somebody out and lock them out.
Where's his mother?
My mother, I can't live with her. She has cats, and I'm fatally allergic to them. So I can't live with my mother.
Your mother has cats, sir.
Yeah.
I have no more time. This lawsuit is nonsense. Case is dismissed. Who are you?
I was his girlfriend at the time, and he did have a job when he moved there.
I was invited by them to go to school. That's why I went there. And they didn't have the money at the time to pay for me to go to school.
Mr. Mazur, it's not her fault that your father violated his parole and served 6 months. She doesn't have to support you, sir. She's got enough trouble of her own.
That.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Out the back door to your
And
right.
on the next Judge Judy.
It was a cold thing what she did to me. She threw me on the streets knowing I had no place to go. I mean, it was a really hard thing for me to deal with. I had to come up with nothing. I mean, I had half my clothes, nothing else. That's all I had when she threw me on the streets.
I had to rent that room out because it's called survival.
Me and Sean and my boyfriend were living together. The three of you were living in the apartment.
Yes.
But three became a crowd when money raised its ugly head.
Like, what the are you going to Las Vegas for? Oh, so I can see if I can win some more money. And I'm like, you've got to be stupid.
Are you finished?
Yes.
I have a feeling you two people deserve each other because you are claimed that the other owes you money. Just about the same amount of money, $2,600 change. Ms. Sanchez, you claim that this gentleman was living with you. He left owing you money for a variety of things, which you'll tell me about. You say you made a loan to her for lawyer, $1,500 for something. You'll tell me about that. So why don't you start from the beginning? How come the two of you were living together?
Sean said he had no place to go. And when we first moved together, he was getting kicked out of his apartment. I was leaving my apartment.
Had you been friends?
Yeah, we had been friends. We had met at work. And at the time, we were staying in a hotel, and it was like you pay every week. Then we found an apartment through one of his friends at work. He got the apartment in his name, okay? And then later I had got it put in my name. I have a rental agreement. And I was giving Sean the money because he knew the landlord. I had no idea, and I work at night. And so I would give Sean money every week to pay rent. Sean didn't pay rent. I have an agreement that we both signed saying that we're both 4 months in the hole in rent. And I'm like, you know, how in the world can this be? I give you money every week, you know?
What you're telling me is you gave him your share of the rent.
Every
How
week.
much was the rent?
$250.
$250 a month?
Each. Yes, each. It's $500 a month.
Okay. So you gave him your $250?
Yes.
And he never paid the rent?
No. I have a piece of paper saying right here that we're both, and he signed it. We both signed it, saying that we're 4 months in the rent, 4 months behind in the rent to this day.
Didn't I pay her 70?
I don't know. Do you have a receipt?
Shh, don't talk to each other. Don't talk to each other. Okay. You both signed that you're both responsible for half the rent. Did you pay the rent, sir?
When I moved out, I paid $750.
I'm talking about while you were living there with her.
We lived together for a whole year and a half.
Shh. How long were you living in the apartment together?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
And did you pay the rent?
Yes.
All that time?
Yes.
No, he didn't. He's lying.
Ms. Sanchez.
Yes, ma'am.
You have rent receipts?
She had them all.
Did you ultimately pay all the rent?
Not yet. I am still in the hole because of Sean.
How did that come about, that you're in the hole?
Okay, Sean was unemployed. First, Sean moved out, okay, because me and Sean and my boyfriend were living together, right? And everything was fine, but we still owed her $2,000.
The three of you were living in the apartment?
Yes.
And the rent was $500?
Yes.
So
But my boyfriend didn't really live there. He wasn't responsible for any of the rent. That was my responsibility. He didn't hardly have any clothes there, okay? He was just,
You just told me
there.
the three of you were living
in
there.
a two-bedroom apartment. Yeah. He had his own room. I had my own room. He had his company. I had my company. So my boyfriend didn't really live there. He had all his clothes someplace else. My boyfriend did. Sean was fired from his job. Came crying to me that he didn't have any place to go. Okay, no place to go. He couldn't go live with his brother. They were having problems. He can go live with his father. They're having problems.
So what you're saying to me, madam...
So I let him move back in. I let him move back in on the agreement that he helped me with households.
In May of 1997, sir, you signed an agreement that you owed her a total of, well, this would be $1,000, right? Because it says that total owing was $2,000. And Henry and Sanchez are responsible for 50% of the total, and you signed this, correct? So you acknowledged in May that you owed her $1,000.
Yeah.
Right? Did you pay her?
I paid the landlord $750.
No. I'm not saying what you paid the landlord. I'm saying what you paid her.
Why would I owe her?
Because I gave you the money every day to pay the rent, and you didn't, stupid.
Now, you want me to dismiss your lawsuit?
No.
This is $2,000. Each of you owe half of that. So that's $1,000. Did you pay it or did you not pay it?
I paid $750. I guess I still owe the landlord $250.
When did you pay the landlord $750?
July?
When did you move out?
July?
No.
Shh. Show me the receipt.
I don't have that.
That makes this easy. So that's $1,000. What else does he owe you for?
He bought, through his work, I got a VCR because he could get it cheaper from Dow Stereo.
How much did you pay for it?
$160.
Okay.
That's all the money that I gave him for the VCR.
How much did you pay for the VCR?
Got a receipt right here.
Okay.
$213.
$213, and you gave him $160. Where's the receipt?
I didn't ask Sean for receipts.
Okay. Did she give you $160 for the VCR?
Every day I get...
You wanted a video camera.
Listen to me.
But you didn't.
You each want money from each other. It would be very foolish. So you say you bought it for $160, and you're going to show me a receipt for $213. And you claim that when he moved out, why did he move out?
Because he wouldn't do his chores, nor did he pay rent. The first month that he moved back in after he was unemployed, he went to Las Vegas, okay? That was on Memorial Day. Didn't tell me anything. And then he comes home, oh, I'm broke, I went to Las Vegas. Like, what the hell are you going to Las Vegas for? Oh, so I could see if I can win some more money. And I'm like, you've got to be stupid. And every day, that month that he was there and he was unemployed, I gave him money, because every day I had to go to work.
Are you finished?
Yes.
What's the address of this apartment where you live together?
802. Apartment A. He didn't help me with the chores. He didn't help me take care of the
I don't care. I'm not your therapist, madam. This is a court.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Are you telling me that this attorney, under the penalties of perjury in the state of California, is lying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, really? Maybe I'll call him.
And later today,
She was in high demand because she was a natural blonde and had natural big breasts.
I'm sure if I chose to pursue that career instead of a research scientist, I would be in high demand, yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dancer LaDonna Sanchez wants her former close friend Sean Henry to pay her for back rent. Sean says she kicked him out.
So what happened with the VCR that you said was yours?
He took it from me. I went to sleep. He went in my room and took it out of my room.
Okay. Now, what's your story?
I let her use it. I never said she can have it. I bought it.
Utter crap.
Shh.
I said you could use it.
Now, you also say that you made some loans to him. You want to tell me about that?
The month that he moved in, since he was unemployed, he would ask me for money every day.
I'm not talking, Miss, listen to me. I'm not talking about the $5 and the $10 that you say you gave him because he was unemployed. Did you lend him any large sums of money for which he promised to make payment?
Not all at one time. Every day, can I borrow some money? Can I borrow some money?
Did you keep a record of that?
He was my best friend.
Did you keep a record? The answer is no. So you're just guessing about how much money you lent him?
No, I'm not. I knew how much money I had saved in my drawer before he had moved in.
So how much money did you give him?
$350.
I don't believe that you can.
I did. Every day I gave him $20 or $30 every day because he needed it.
So
he
did
needed
you
it for
write
gas.
down-
He was supposed to go look for a
Did
job.
you write
I bought him news.
You're not listening to me, Miss Sanchez. I said, did you write down these numbers?
I didn't think I had to.
Well, then that's a problem.
He's supposed to be my best friend.
Yeah,
He was supposed to be my little brother.
Now you're countersuing up for a lot of money too. Let me hear it.
Well, one time
Not well. Look at me.
she got arrested coming back across the border, and she needed a lawyer. So she called me crying, I need a lawyer. So I paid $1,500 for a retainer to try and help her out.
When was this?
June 26, 96.
Does that sound familiar to you?
No.
You just took out a piece of paper. What is that?
This is the piece of paper that was the only thing that I gotten from that lawyer. I saw that lawyer once. I knew it wouldn't do me any good. I cussed Sean out on the phone about what do I need a lawyer for? Lawyer wasn't going to do me any good.
Just a second. You went to see a lawyer.
No, I didn't. The lawyer came to jail. And I'm like,
Lawyer came to jail. Lawyers don't do anything for free.
I didn't ask him for the lawyer. I never asked him for the lawyer. And if I did ask for him a lawyer, it wouldn't be from him. It would have been from Rudy, my boyfriend.
Listen to me. Where were you when you paid this lawyer? Were you in
I was
California?
Yeah.
Does he have a receipt?
I have a feeling you two people deserve each other because you are, Miss Sanchez, irritating me. And I'm just about ready to show you the door. Do you understand?
Yes.
With nothing. Not your $1,100, nothing. If you do it again. You got it? I want you to show me any documentation, sir, that you have with regard to this lawyer.
Right here.
Can I see it, please? Well, this clearly is a letter from an attorney indicating that he accepted a non-refundable retainer in the amount of $1,500 from the defendant on your behalf on the 26th of June, 1996.
That's his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend's father. Why wouldn't he write him that piece of paper?
Are you telling me that this attorney, under the penalties of perjury in the state of California, is lying? Are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, really? Maybe I'll call him.
No,
Maybe I'll call him. You want me to call him?
Can you look at this for me for a minute?
I asked you a question. Do you think I have to call him?
No.
Right.
But he was never my attorney. I did not ask Sean to get me a lawyer.
How did you find out she had been arrested?
She called me from jail.
I believe that, Miss Sanchez.
I did not ask him.
How would he know that you're in jail unless you called him?
I did call him from jail.
And what did you call him for? To say, how are you?
No, we lived together.
This happened a long time ago, correct? Did you ever sue her for this money?
No.
Why?
So I cared about her.
Good.
Excuse me, Your Honor, may I say something?
Sure.
When the lawyer thing came about...
You're lying, Miss Sanchez. Don't lie to me. I don't like when you lie to me.
I did not. Yeah. I'm not lying.
Sure you are. Now, was there ever an agreement that you had with her that she would repay this lawyer's fee to you?
Well, we had an agreement.
Mr. Henry, you don't want to go down that road, sir. I guess you do. You want to tell me about this agreement? Tell me what words we used, Mr.
Well,
Henry.
she said, get me out of here. Whatever it cost.
And you said?
I'll try the best I can. I borrowed the money from my brother.
No, no, don't tell me how you borrowed the money. She said, get me out of here. Right?
Yes.
And you did.
Well, I tried.
Okay. No, an agreement to pay it back means get me out of here, whatever it costs, and I will pay you back. That's a contract. That's an oral contract. But you didn't have that with her.
No.
Okay. Well, that's what I thought. So, that's honest.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You never paid rent. You didn't clean up the house. You didn't clean up your stuff. I had to sit up there and pick up after you. Bought food and everything.
And later today,
She begged me for sex, Your Honor. Literally.
Mr. Swan, you're not that attractive, sir.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Exotic dancer LaDonna Sanchez wants her former close friend Sean Henry to pay her for back rent, loans, and a stolen VCR.
A, I can't figure out who owns the VCR. I have a bill here for $213. So
She's also caused damage to my truck.
Shh. So I can't make a determination with regard to the VCR. I can only make a determination with regard to the contract that you both entered into, indicating that you are indebted to her for the amount of $1,000. Now, you want to tell me about this truck?
Yeah, she's damaged it.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, one time at work, she said she locked the keys in, so she had to break the back window, and I had to pay for that.
I paid him back.
Shh.
And when we were in a fight, I wouldn't let her drive it. She didn't have a license or insurance on it.
So what did she do to the truck?
She kicked it. Put a nice dent on the driver's side door.
Let me see.
And I got estimates of the damage right here.
Looks like there's lots of damage on this truck. Lots of scratches on this truck.
From his DUIs.
Okay, how about your boyfriend kicking it?
Oh, wonderful. You ready? Dismissed! Dismissed! Goodbye.
Party's not excused. Step out.
I don't understand why it was dismissed. Because I talked? He was supposed to be my best friend. Okay, he dogged me just because I won't be his stupid girlfriend. Sorry. Now it's dismissed because you're stupid. Never see my fucking money again. Make me sick.
And now the next case.
Party's on Maris versus Swan. Step forward.
32-year-old research scientist Ann Maris is suing her former friend, physical education instructor William Swan, for unpaid credit card bills.
Why do women give men credit cards?
I think it has something to do with the word convinced. Mr. Swan looked me straight in the eye and told me he loved me, wanted to marry me, that I thought he had morals.
Mr. Swan, go ahead.
I thought he had morals.
How did you meet him?
I met him in the produce section of an Asian store, Asian market.
And how long did you know him before you put his name on your credit card?
5 months.
And had you dated during that 5 months?
Beginning about 2 or 3 months prior to that, we started seeing each other on a more regular basis and talking pretty much every day on the phone, at least once.
So he needed some credit, and you said you'd give him credit on your card.
He said one morning I talked to him from work, and he said he desperately needed a refrigerator, that he was getting skinny, and that his brother wouldn't loan him the money, and that it would be about $500. And I told him I didn't have the money, and I thought we could find one a lot cheaper than that, as I had paid $100 for mine, and that I would be willing to let him put it on a credit card that had no other money on it, so we could be clear. And he had told me he was going to pay it out of his tax return, and he didn't know why his brother wouldn't loan him the money.
Okay. To make a long story short, because
Sure.
Mr. Swan is going to tell me what his defense is, he ran up bills on the credit card totaling $1,500.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And he does not dispute that.
No.
Is that right, sir?
That's correct.
But this is your defense, that you had an agreement with her. And your agreement was that as long as you maintained the payments on the credit card, that she would keep it open.
Absolutely.
But that there came a point when you took out a significant amount of money. How much, $1,100?
Yeah.
and that after you took out that amount of money, she closed the credit card down.
Yes.
So your defense is that she breached the agreement
Yes.
by canceling the credit card, and therefore you do not owe her this money. That's what your defense is.
Something to that effect.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Well, why don't you tell me what I got wrong?
Well,
Why don't you?
not that I don't necessarily owe, but the fact that she breached our contract with reference to me keeping the payments paid that I shouldn't have to pay because she cut it off basically out of spite because I wouldn't have sex with her.
That's not true, of course.
She begged me for sex, Your Honor.
What is that?
Literally.
Mr.
And
Swan.
I just, you know.
Mr. Swan, you're not that attractive, sir.
Thank you.
What does this have to do about owing?
She
her
thought so.
Order.
Well, sometimes love is blind. Mr. Swan, you're not serious with me, are you? You're not trying to tell this to me with a straight face that you don't owe the money that you took out on her credit card because she breached the agreement when she cut off your credit.
I never said I didn't owe it.
You sure you said, as far as I'm concerned, she broke the agreement and I have no intention of giving her a dime.
That's what I said. But
That's what you said right here in your answer.
Yeah, but I didn't say I didn't
Good.
owe
You owe her $1,500, judgment for the plaintiff. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
And she was in high demand because she was a natural blonde and had natural big breasts.
I'm sure if I chose to pursue that career instead of a research scientist, I would be in high demand, yes. I hope to see him in jail.
Hope springs eternal.
You have a drink in Ojai with the girl he's dating and her friend.
He was not dating her at the time.
The case of two bikers, a girl, and a $700 ring.
I'm never giving a woman a ring, and on top of that, I'm not sleeping with him.
That's a good thing.
That's pretty bizarre.
Mr. Whiteman, don't get excited, please, sir, and don't shift from...
Tunnel surgery.
Did it work?
Yeah, I can feel,
Good.
but I don't know how well.
Mr. Whiteman, you and the defendant were friends for a while. Are those prescription glasses,
Yes, ma'am.
sir? You and the defendant were friends for several years.
5 or 6 years, yes.
And according to you, you do jewelry, make jewelry part-time.
I'm an electrician by trade. It's a little hobby on the side.
And you had a ring that he liked, and you agreed to make one for him.
Yes,
And had you discussed the price with him?
yes. He's going to pay me $700. I'm trying to wrap it up within 3 to 6 months. There was no set payment plan.
And you made him the ring?
Yes,
Did you give it to him?
yes,
And did he pay you for it?
no,
So that's why you're here.
yes.
He got the ring back.
You gave it to him?
Yes, he came pounding on my door wanting his ring back. And I had it appraised for $300. He wanted $700. So I gave him the ring back.
He's lying. I wouldn't be going through all this right now if he gave me back the ring.
Why is he asking for $2,600 and not asking for the ring back? Because he's already got the ring back. He's just suing for verbal agreement, which I have nothing, you know, he never said anything about that. He gave it to me as a gift. You know, this man has stayed in my house, used my washer dryer, ate my food, drank my booze, never charged him a penny.
So
and
what do
now
you
he
think-
wants
So what do you think this is-
$2,600 for a $300 ring?
Forget $2,600. But assuming, sir, that you were close enough for him to live in your home, right? Why would you think that at this point he's suing you?
He's mad about something. I don't know. He wants money. I don't know what it is.
Tell me.
I don't know what kind of delusions he's having. I've never lived at his house, for one.
You stayed
I've
at my
stopped
house many
by,
times.
you know, a
Stopped
couple of
by.
times and spent the night a few times. We've gone out drinking together. And he's never given me that ring back, or I wouldn't be at this stage of the game.
Let me see the ring, sir. You say that you have one that was just like it.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please?
Like it.
Not the
Right there,
appraisal,
the other
just take off the ring. Let me see it.
I want to give her this paper.
I'm not interested in your appraisal. Your appraisal is really not important. Well, that is a handsome piece. Is the one that you made for him similar?
Exactly.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yeah.
He didn't make it for me. He had 3 of them, the same thing, that he already had. He didn't make anything for me.
Okay.
And then he gave it to me as a gift.
Well, tell me how that came about, sir, according to you.
Well, he comes over all the time, well, used to, and just sit around and have a few beers and drink and stuff. I've always admired the ring, and he said, here, you can have
You
it.
must have had a fight about something.
No.
Something
Here's the
doesn't
ring.
sit right with
No,
me.
it doesn't sit right because every word out of his mouth's a lie at this stage of the
that's what
game.
you say.
I knocked on his door, wanted the ring back. There was this girl named Kelly. They weren't dating at the time. We went to Ojai to go have a drink, me and her girlfriend. We had a real bad time that night. And
that's
so
why
she
you're
came back.
Hey, don't talk to him. It's irritating. So at the time that you went for a drink with Kelly and her friend in Ojai,
Yes.
he wasn't around.
Yes,
And something happened when you were out there having a drink.
right.
Had you already given him this ring?
Oh, yes.
Okay. How much before?
Approximately a month.
Okay. So, approximately a month, you have a drink in Ojai with the girl he's dating and her friend.
That's a little bit incorrect. He was not dating her at the time. She used me to start dating him, and then he decided in his own mind that, you took out somebody I wanted to see, and I'm going to keep the ring. And that's exactly what happened. And if he could sit up here with a straight face and tell you that I gave him a ring, I've never given a woman a ring, and on top of that, I'm not sleeping with him.
That's a good thing.
That's pretty bizarre for him to even say that.
Well-
I've never given anybody a $700 item in my life.
Mr. Weidman, the reason, quite frankly, sometimes if people are really good friends, Mr. Weidman, don't get excited, please, sir, and don't shift from foot to foot. If you're a really good friend of his, it's not so bizarre that if you had several of these, even if you just had one of these, and he said, I really love that you might not take it off and say, I want it to please you.
I'm not financially able to give him a $700 item.
Okay. Now, you charge $700 for the ring.
Right.
Because there's $700 worth of gold here?
There's approximately about $450, $500.
Worth of gold, because it's a heavy ring.
Right, 26, 25.
But the other couple of $100 is for your labor in making
Right.
it. Now, the only thing that I have to determine is whether you gave him back this ring. And I can't understand why he would be here if you gave him back the ring, sir.
Money. That's all I can figure.
Your Honor, I make $1,000 a week. I'm a union electrician. I make $30, $45 an hour. I have my pay stubs right here, and believe me, it's not money.
Then why are you asking $2,600 for a $700
Because
ring?
I have the ring, it was like $700. The cost coming from the Bay Area, I estimated about 200 miles. It's 800-mile round trip. Lost wages at $30, $45 an hour. 2 days is $487. Appraisal was $50. The process server was $115. Mr. Bonner had to take off work today at 27 and a half
What's he
times
doing
4.
here?
He's the witness that a few months later that Mr. Torres still possessed this ring. I figured he was going to start this today.
Step up here, sir. Tell me your name.
Richard Bonner.
Mr. Bonner, how do you know Mr. Torres?
He's done some work for me.
What do you know about this ring?
I've seen it.
When was the last time you saw it on Mr. Torres?
Oh, it's, I think it was March when he was doing some work for me.
How do you remember it?
He's done more work for me since then.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't have the ring, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you may not have it, but I don't believe that you gave it back to him.
I did give it back to him.
I don't believe it.
And later today,
Tell me how much each one of these pool cues cost.
We figured between $1,800 and $2,000 per cue.
And what do these pool cues do for $2,000 a piece?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charlie Weidman claims he made a ring for his biker buddy Larry Torres and was never paid. Larry says he gave the ring back to Charlie.
Mr. Torres, it is not common sense that you gave him back the ring and he goes to the trouble of serving you with summons, which cost him money, having the ring appraised, which cost him money, if in fact he had the ring in his possession. That just doesn't make sense to me, sir.
No, I don't have the ring, so I don't know what to tell you.
What? You may not have it, but I don't believe that you gave it back to him.
I did give it back to him.
I don't believe it. So I believe that you did not, in fact, return the ring to him. That doesn't mean that you still have it. I don't know what you did with it. Only you know what you did with it, and you didn't return it to him. Now, Mr. Weidman, I know you're suing for $2,600, and the truth of the matter is I'm not going to give you $2,600. I'm going to give you the $700 that you say you agreed on with this gentleman to pay for the ring. I also think that that gave you somewhat of a profit. You know, you said that there
Quite a
was
good
four...
profit.
I'm speaking. That the gold in the ring itself was worth about $500 maximum, according to you. Mr. Torres was, in fact, a friend of yours. I don't see why you shouldn't charge him something, you know, because you did use your skill in making the ring. And if that's the way you do business with your friends, that's your business. But I'm certainly not going to give you a windfall of $2,600, sir. So the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Blondio versus Paget. Step forward, please.
Billiard supply owner Peggy Blondio says she gave 31-year-old Tim Paget $6,000 to make custom pool cues and is suing because he didn't finish the work.
Well, I must admit it's nice to know at my age you can learn something new. This case is about pool cues.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you, Miss Blondio, claim that the defendant breached a contract that you had made with him by failing to produce some custom-made pool cues for you within an appropriate period of time. You gave him $5,000 deposit? $6,000 deposit. And he didn't deliver.
Correct.
So why don't you first tell me how much each one of these pool cues cost?
We didn't have an exact price, Mr. Paget and I, as far as what he was going to charge me. We figured between $1,800 and $2,000 per cue.
And what do these pool cues do for $2,000 a piece?
Well, they're like a piece of art based on the person that makes the cue, the materials that are in it. These cues were to have ambonia burl, 14-karat gold, and a lot of ivory.
And is this your business?
Yes, I work for Beach Billiard Supply. I'm an owner, and I've done this for 11 years.
When did you make this agreement with him?
I gave Mr. Paget a check on August 9th, 1996. The verbal contract went into agreement at that point. My store manager, Ken Harity, was the witness to that and was involved in deciding what the cues would be made out of and whatnot.
Okay, and what was the promised delivery date?
They were to be delivered in October of 1996.
And they weren't?
That's correct.
And he still has your $6,000?
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Paget. Now, I see that there's something over there that doesn't look like a telescope, so it must be one of these fancy pool cues. Is that what one of those pool cues looks like? I would really like to see a $2,000 pool cue.
This is they're not finished. I stopped production in September. That was one of the anniversary cues, not complete.
September of '97, you stopped
yes,
production.
Your Honor.
Bird, could you get that? You don't have to put it together. I could sort of take a look at it.
No, this is two separate cues, Your Honor. This one here is a $10,000 pool stick.
It's $10,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
It can't fit on your finger, does
No,
it?
it can't.
It can't fit on your finger. It ain't worth 10 grand. Well, it certainly is lovely. How long does it take you to make one of these things, sir?
Average 3 months to a year, depending on the materials and...
A year to make one?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, you can't. You got to be kidding me, sir.
No,
Because
that's
if you
not
charge,
correct.
shh, don't help. Because if that were true, then you only make $2,000 a year.
No, Your Honor, a lot of the time is just sitting time. When you have a large amount of money invested in materials, as I do in these cues, they sit for 3, 4, 5, 6 months before I put the actual gold in, the ivory in.
Why do they sit?
Because cues warp. They warp, and then if I was to sell a cue for $2,000 and 3 months later the person comes back and says the cue's warped, I have to replace that cue.
So it's got to sit and sort of Ripen with age.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you say, I'm having trouble with material, I
told her I
can't
was-
get the material, you can either wait or I'll give you your money back? Did you say that to her?
No, the money was
Right.
spent.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Peggy Blondio is suing pool cue maker Tim Paget because he took her money and then broke their agreement by failing to make 10 custom pool cues.
Now, you took her money in August of 1996.
This is correct.
And you stopped production in September of 1997.
The agreed date was not in October. That's an impossibility. My name is in the Blue Book of Pool Cues. It says right in here that it takes me 3 to 8 months to make a cue, and that was 2 years ago.
Just a second. 3 to 8 months.
Correct.
So August, September, October is not is not something that's out of fantasy, sir, because even according to you, 2 years ago, when you first entered into a contract with her in August of 96, you say that you could make a cue between 3 and 6 and 8 months. So August, September, and October. That's 3 months.
That's a very plain cue, Your Honor. That's like a $400 to $500 cue. I did not tell her I would have them done in October of 96.
When did you tell her you would have them done, according to you, sir?
There was a BCA show in July of 97. I said I would try and have the first 3 done by then.
So you're telling her that she has to wait a year for her cues?
Originally, no. July of 97 was the show in Las Vegas.
That's 11 months later.
That's
August of 96 to July of 97.
okay.
That's 11 months later.
Correct.
That's when you said you would have them for her.
Exactly.
And you didn't.
I told her in January that I had not received the material yet. I was having major problems with the wood, that it was going to take longer. She asked me for a date, and I could not give her one.
Well, then why didn't you give her her money back?
She didn't ask for it. She just said, get them done as soon as you can.
Excuse me, I did.
What did you say?
My mother was my business partner, had not contacted Mr. Paget in November, requesting the money back because I had come into some financial situations where I needed the money. So she had asked him to replace the money. I also
Did somebody call and ask you for
Her
the money
mother
back
asked
in
me for
November?
the money back. I confronted Peggy. I said, Peggy, is this true? Do you want the money back? And Peggy says, no, don't pay any attention to my mother. I do not want the money back. I want the cues. Get them done as soon as you can. Those were her exact words.
No.
What was the next conversation that you had with him after your mother had the conversation with him and asked for the money back?
I told him that, yes, I was entering some financial situations, that I did need the money back. He said that he'd already invested in the materials and therefore couldn't give me the money back. Then I said I needed the cues as soon as possible as we were entering the Christmas season, and my hope was to sell them then.
Well, that's not so far off. He said, I've already invested in some material money, and you said, well, if you've already done that, as long as you get me the cues before Christmas, then fine. And what did he say?
Well, in November I was told I'd have them in the first or second week in December. In December I was told I would have them in January. In January I was told I'd have them in February because I wanted to go to a trade show. They never were produced. I tried to at least get 3 cues because there were supposed to be 10. That never materialized. My bi-weekly phone calls were reduced to weekly, monthly, and then bi-monthly. My store manager, Ken Haggerty, was witness to the date of completion that Mr. Paget had stated to me, and that was October.
Step up. Tell me your name, sir.
Ken Haggerty.
Were you there when they made this contract?
I was.
And what do you recall was said?
To the best of my recollection, what we talked about, because I was part of the conversation, was what was going to be in the cues, approximately how much they would be worth, and when we would possibly get some of them. Hopefully, we asked to have at least 1 cue because we planned on a whole advertisement around this particular anniversary cue, and we were hoping to get at least 1 to take a photograph of to put in magazines.
What did he say about delivery, if you remember? Make sure if you...
To the best of my recollection, it was going to be by October, and then it became November, and then it became December, and it just progressed. And I spoke to him personally a couple of times asking when can we get our cues, and I continually got excuses why we couldn't get them, and that was it.
Now, sir, to date, you do not have any pool cues to give them. Is that right?
I stopped production on them when I was served papers by her attorney. And that was September 17th, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you say, I'm having trouble with material, I
told her I
can't
was
get the material, you can either wait or I'll give you your money back? Did you say that to her?
No, the money was
Right.
spent. I have receipts for over $5,000 worth of material that was sent out.
Just a minute, that's not her problem. You made an agreement with this lady to make pool cues for her within a reasonable period of time. According to you, that was, according to the book, 3 to 8 months. And 8 months after she gave you $6,000, she still had zippo, nothing. So you breached the contract. You got to give her back the money. My limit is $5,000 here. Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Woo!
Party's excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I'm extremely pleased with it. I think that it was a fair decision.
The judge obviously doesn't know what she's talking about, so.
I'm just pleased that it turned out the way it did.
He picked me up and he threw me out the door into the railing.
I did not physically pick her up and throw her out the door.
They lived together for 2 months, but he threw her out after he overheard her phone call.
Was she, according to you, selling cocaine?
She was buying it. She confessed up to that when we went to court.
Does that have a ring of truth to it?
Yes, it does.
Good.
Assaulting her during an argument.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, this is case number 333 on the calendar in the matter of Sullivan versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
Miss Sullivan, your complaint alleges that the defendant assaulted you.
Yes.
Over a year ago.
Right.
And you're suing him for the hospital bills.
Right.
So I want you to tell me where he assaulted you, how he assaulted you, and why you waited a year to bring this lawsuit.
Ron and I had known each other about 5 months, or we were together for about 5 months. After 3 months, we moved in together. And probably about 2 months after that, Ron and I had an argument in our apartment, and he asked me to leave, and I told him to go to his friend Jesse's house, and that I would be gone by the time he got back. It turned in just to an argument, and he picked me up and he threw me out the door into the railing. I walked down the stairs into the Chevron station, where I called the police and my dad. The police came and arrested Ron. Ron and I didn't speak for 2 weeks. After that, we got back together, and Ron agreed to help me pay the hospital bill.
Okay, so you got back together again. And how long were you back together again?
Off and on, probably 7 months.
When you say off and on for 7 months, you mean you lived together?
No.
You didn't stay at his house?
No. After that, my cousin and my grandmother, after I left the hospital, had to go to my apartment and move me out because my knee was sprained, and I had 8 stitches in my face and a slight head concussion. And I moved into my Aunt Anna's house at that time.
So you never again stayed at his house?
No.
But you dated?
Yes.
And then what happened?
It just didn't work out. He agreed to pay half of the hospital bill or help me out with the bills. And when we broke up, I had called him and asked him if he was still going to help me, and he told me, good luck. I'm moving in November to go to the wrestling camp. Okay. So that's when I decided to take him to court.
You made an agreement with him, according to you, that you consented to for him to pay for half of the medical bills.
Right, and he had agreed to it.
Okay. And how much were the medical bills?
It's $1,177 now in a collection.
$1,177.
Right.
That's the whole bill.
Yeah, in collection. The whole bill was $882.
Well, it was $882, and then they built up interest on it.
Right, which is on my name in collection.
Why didn't you pay any part of the bill?
Because I just hadn't done it, and then when I
I know you hadn't done it, but my question is, why hadn't you done it?
I had just figured that Ron put me in the hospital, then he should have to pay for it. Why should I have to go through that and pay for it too?
Well, I'm just asking. I understand that, but what I'm questioning you about is, if you agreed with him that he would pay half the bill, why didn't you, since you were going to pay the other half,
Right.
pay the other half instead of stiffing the hospital completely?
I just didn't do it.
Well, that's not very responsible.
It's not.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a waitress.
Now, you're suing him for a lot more than half of $1177.
Right.
Why?
I'm suing him $1,200 for the 6 weeks of loss of work.
Why?
Because I missed work because of him.
But you were seeing each other after this incident. I'll get to you in a second.
Yeah, we were.
And even at the time when you separated 7 months later, according to you, you still said to him, what about the half of this hospital bill that you said you were going to pay?
And he didn't want to do it.
Well, so I still don't understand why now you're tacking on a whole lot of other things.
I had changed my mind. I had decided, why should I have to pay for half of it when it wasn't even my fault? He put me in the hospital. He should pay for the whole thing.
Yeah, but you, according to you, had an oral contract with him to pay for half of the bill.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Now, Mr. Smith, you want to tell me your version of these events, please?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, we did get into a verbal confrontation, and what it was when we were living together, she was purchasing cocaine. And I have 2 kids. I pay my child support. I only get to see one of them, and I didn't want anything to jeopardize my son being able to come and visit me in my home, and something like that would. I asked her to leave. She refused to leave. I didn't pick her up and throw her out the door. She got hit with the door. She stuck her foot in the door, and then I put my hand on her to get her out the door and close the door behind her. I did not physically pick her up and throw her out the door. I went through my anger management classes, and
you pled guilty to the assault.
I pled no contest.
That's the same as guilty.
Yes. I went through my anger management classes, and like she says, you know, I did agree to pay half of the hospital bill. I did. It was all fine and good until just a little while ago. What it is she calls me up, and when she does call me, she's drunk. And all she wants to do is make up. She's pledging undying love and affection. You know, she wants to be with. She comes to my work drunk. She calls me up drunk, telling me that she loves me. She just wants to be with me. She's never loved anybody like me before, and blah, blah, blah whatsoever. And when I told her, no, I'm sorry, I'm moving, I'm going to Atlanta, she wanted to come to Atlanta with me. After the incident happened, she quit her job so she could move to Minnesota because she was going to be with her mother. It had nothing to do with me at all. That's why she missed that work. She quit her job.
Okay.
I did not make contact with her after the incident. She made contact with me.
Tell me about this argument. The reason that you say that you pushed her out of the house was because of cocaine.
Yes.
Was she, according to you, selling cocaine?
She was buying it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Since when do I do drugs?
You don't smoke pot?
No, I don't.
You don't
Do you?
get drunk?
Oh,
You called the studio drunk off you.
And later today,
He broke the engagement.
By having this affair?
No, he needed time alone. He needed to find himself.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Misty Sullivan says her ex-boyfriend Ron Smith assaulted her during an argument and wants him to pay for her medical bills. Ron doesn't deny he injured Misty, but says they agreed he would pay only half of the bills.
Tell me about this argument.
I tell her, I don't want this in my home. I told her that when she got off the phone. We argued about it. I don't want this in my home. Like I said, my son comes over. So the next day, I go to work and I come home and she's on the phone with one of her ex-boyfriends that she's making this cocaine deal with. And I told her right then and there, don't do it in this house. I don't care if you go down to the payphone down the street. Don't do it in here.
And that precipitated this argument?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Sullivan, I just want to ask you one question. Does that have a ring of truth to it?
Yes, it does.
Good. So, that's what the argument was about. Well, say nothing. That doesn't excuse the fact, madam, that he put his hands on you.
No.
That doesn't excuse that. That's saying that he has a right to have you out of his house. If you're that dumb, that you would involve the household in a situation where even for a moment there was going to be a drug transaction taking place even on the phone. It still doesn't excuse her, someone of your size, from giving her a shove outside, and she was clearly injured, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, somebody's got to pay for that. According to what she says, and according to what you seem to acknowledge, that you had agreed to pay for half of the medical bill. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That was your agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you didn't pay and she didn't pay, so the only one that got stiffed so far is the hospital. that provided the service. That doesn't sound fair, right?
Right.
So you have to pay, sir. You have to pay half. And I'm going to round it off because I like round numbers. $1,177 we're going to take to $1,200. So the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back to your right.
I think the justice system is the best in the world. Thank you, Judge Judy. I'm sure she'll find something else to give me hell about before I leave. I got like another week or so.
And now the next case.
Parties on Urea versus Snyder. Step forward, please.
21-year-old Christy Urea says she and 24-year-old Christian Snyder were engaged to be married until she caught him cheating. She's suing for credit card bills and wedding expenses.
How old are you?
24.
Young looking. You're lucky.
Thank you.
But not smart. Because according to this complaint, you were engaged to the boss's daughter.
That would be me.
And you had a little tryst with somebody in the office. And then the engagement was over. And she says that you owe her money from all the things that she spent for the wedding and some other credit card bills. And you signed a note. And then she said you didn't pay. Is that what this is about?
Yes, he stopped paying. He had been paying for a
Okay,
while.
so that's pretty much what this is about. Was he working for your father at the time that you became engaged? Is that how you met him?
No, it's not.
Because becomes important in this story later. He said he was coerced into signing this note. So who was he working for when you met him?
He was working for an automotive shop somewhere down in Montclair.
As a mechanic?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
And how long did you know him before he came to work for your father?
Probably a little over a year.
Is that right?
It's about right, yeah.
And what kind of business does your father have?
An automotive repair shop.
So it was the same kind of business?
Yes.
And what were you doing for her father? Working as a mechanic?
Yeah, and also helping run the office.
Do you have any brothers?
Yes, I have a brother.
Does he work in the business?
No.
Do you have any other sisters?
I have a sister, yes.
Does she work in the business?
No.
So there you have a business that could grow into a business that's yours. Did that ever occur to you?
Yeah.
And you became engaged when?
March of this year.
And you made certain preparations?
Yes, we did.
Like what?
Well, we reserved the chapel to get married. I have wedding invitations that we had made up. I had a dress. My girls got their dresses.
Stop playing. Look at me. When was this wedding supposed to take place?
August 30th.
And tell me when the engagement was broken.
That's July, beginning of July.
By whom and why?
By him, because he said he needed to find himself, and then I found out he was sleeping with one of the girls from my dad's work.
How did you find that out?
Because his mother called me at midnight and told me, because I guess she'd gone by his mom's house.
The girl had gone by his mom's house? Did you confront him with that?
Yep.
What'd he say?
He tried to talk his way around it, and I went to the girl's house, and his car was there, and he admitted to it. And then he tried to come back to me after that, and then he went back to her, and he played a game for a little while.
Did you tell your father?
Oh, yes.
So you were willing to go through with this wedding, even though you found out that he was fooling around. So
no.
Because you said he broke the engagement.
Yes, he broke the engagement.
By having this affair?
That's not, that's the reason why, but that's not the reason he gave me.
What was the reason he gave you?
He needed time alone. He needed to find himself.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Same girlfriend that you were meeting with while you were engaged to her?
At the time, there was nothing going on, but...
Just visiting?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christy Urea called off her wedding when she discovered her fiancé, Christian Snyder, was cheating. She's suing for wedding expenses and credit card bills. Christian says he paid Christy's college tuition, making them even.
So then you signed a note, right?
Yes.
It's right here.
Well, show it to him because that'll make it easier. I don't have to show him the copy that I have. That's the note that you signed, sir?
Yes.
Well, tell me about that because you say you were coerced into signing the note.
I was told that if I signed it, it could be negotiated later, but I needed to sign it so I could get back to work, and I was afraid of losing my job.
Okay, let's start. You were presented with this note. By whom?
By her father.
In the office?
Yes.
You signed it.
Yes. I was afraid I'd lose my job if I didn't sign it, and I needed to pay child support.
So, you had a choice of either signing the note or going to find another job, right?
Yes, let's put it that way.
Did you honestly believe, sir, that her father was going to keep you on the payroll after he found out that you were fooling around with somebody else in his business?
He told me I could.
I got a bridge I want to sell you. You're 24 years old and you tell me that you have child support that you have to pay.
Yes.
How many children do you have?
One.
How old?
She's going to be 5.
So you were a teenager when you had this child, right?
Yes.
Were you married to the child's mother?
Yes.
Is that your only marriage?
Yes.
So you signed this note for $3,000. Is that what it was?
$3,200, yes.
And according to you, you paid some of it.
Yes.
And she acknowledges that you paid some of it.
I wrote him a receipt every time he made me a payment.
Made you a payment, but money was also deducted from his check at work.
Yes, and my father wrote him receipts. I have those. That's how they started, and I continued writing them.
Let me see the receipts. Well, the last one was in September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a balance due of $2,294.
That's correct.
And you're still suing for $3,000.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
I have a proposal I had done. He kicked holes in my wall and attempted to fix them.
When?
The last month that we were together, when he started acting really bizarre.
Before or after you had him sign this note?
Before.
Forget it. What's next?
The wedding invitations that I had to pay my mother back for.
You had ordered those invitations before this note, correct?
Yes.
Well, look, Miss Urea, we're not going to reinvent the wheel here.
I understand.
You, at a time, memorialized in writing and had him sign, your father had him sign, what he owed you as of a date certain. He, according to you, made certain payments. These are all the payments that she says she has. And do you get a copy of these receipts?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have any question in your mind that the last receipt indicates that the balance due was $2,294?
I believe that's what it was, yes.
Okay. So, now you explain to me, sir, why you don't owe her this money.
Because I don't have any of the stuff she wants me to pay for. I also paid for her school, which I was never reimbursed for. I figured we'd just make it even.
Well, did you have an agreement with her to
A
pay?
verbal agreement, she was going to pay me back, yes.
Well, explain that to me.
I gave, because her father would pay for school and she got good grades. So in order to get started, she needed money to go to school, to pay for first semester, and then her father would pick it up from there.
How much did you pay?
I don't exactly know how much it was.
Well, if you don't know, I don't know.
I believe it was maybe $200, including books and stuff.
Give me another reason why you don't owe this money. The first one I'm shelving.
The whole time we were together, I was also helping her on her credit cards and stuff like that. Just from the past year, I have almost $2,500 in canceled checks and stuff to her credit cards.
So?
That's not
You both
true.
used her credit cards. You're clutching at straws, Mr. Snyder. You signed a note for $3,200. You're 24 years old. You've been married once, divorced once. You're the father of a child. That's the end of the story. If you had said to me that our father coerced you into signing this note because he took your left ankle and tied it around your right ear, right? And he was torturing you, that's against the law.
Well, you don't know her father. I mean, he has called me threatening me that he's going to come take it from me and stuff like that.
You mean when you didn't pay?
Yeah.
Well, that's a different story. When you didn't pay, I'm talking about when you signed the note. And according to you, you felt coerced into signing this note because you were afraid to lose your job.
Not only that, her father is extremely intimidating.
What do you mean is extremely intimidating, sir?
He just is. He's very
Like me?
hot-tempered.
Huh?
No, actually, he's more intimidating than you are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen, you signed a note, you have an obligation to pay it. It's as simple as that. Not smart to fool around like that, Mr. Snyder. You living with anybody now, sir?
Yes.
Who?
My girlfriend?
Same girlfriend that you were
Yes.
meeting with while you were engaged to her?
At the time, there was nothing going on, but...
Just visiting? All right, what's the bottom line here? Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,294. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
You came crying back to me because you were so confused, because you're so distraught at the age of 24.
Yeah, who showed up at whose house at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, to
Thank
beat
you.
your little girlfriend up, that's why. He did this to his ex-wife, did this to his other ex-girlfriend, and he owes all kinds of women money. So women everywhere can look at him and know this is the kind of guy he is. He's a man, a real man.
No. Look at how she's acting now. It just kind of shows how she was at home, too.
This is a lady who, I assume, was a little lonely.
Their 73-year-old mother spent thousands on her hairdresser before she died. Now her family wants the money back.
He was constantly calling and asking her to do things for him.
Well, it is sad. However, it may. Miss Flores, your mother died suddenly. How old was she when she died?
73.
And you claim at the time of her death, the defendant owed her money.
Yes, that is correct.
Tell me what makes you think he owed her money and why she gave him money.
Okay. At the time of her death, we went through her financial matters, and with her checkbook and her bank statements was her ledger. My mom was a bookkeeper for 45 years. My mom would not just knowingly give him a gift and write it down. I mean, if she gave a gift, she would not write it down. So
you can't go in somebody else's head.
That's correct.
Even if they're no longer here.
Right.
So you found her ledger.
Yes, I did. And with this ledger, I found his name, Donald Smith, of which I didn't know. I knew of him, but I've never met him before.
How did you know of him?
By my daughter, Tammy. Tammy had gone to dinner with them one evening. And my mom paid for dinner, which Tammy thought was kind of strange that he wouldn't pick up a tab, being a man. I mean, it just common sense. Anyway, from there, from
Not
dinner...
in the 90s.
Okay, from dinner, they went gambling. Well, from there, my mom was pulling money out, giving him money to gamble. And Tammy goes, well, that's kind of strange. When she came back home, she said, something strange is going on here. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, he's taking money from her. Well, I mean, I didn't think anything about that till I found the ledger saying that there were bills incurred for Don. Doctor bills, loans to Don, more doctor bills, Mervin's charge cards. Also, she had just recently purchased you furniture, of which my mother also kept a daily log of telephone calls that were made to him, saying whether he called, whether he didn't call. It seemed like when he had his appointments, he would call her. She would also take him to work on a daily basis, which was like across town. They live in Las Vegas. She lives on the east side of town. He lives in North Las Vegas. So it was quite a commute for her.
So what?
And
I mean, what does that mean to you, Miss Flores?
I mean that he was constantly calling and asking her to do things for him.
So what? Is there anything wrong with your mother's mind?
There wasn't at the time of her death, not that I know of.
And she was 73 years old, which today is not an old person.
Right. She was killed in a car accident. She hit a tree.
So let's just talk about the money that she gave him to go gambling. when
Right.
they were out to pay for dinner and that sort of stuff. It was her money, wasn't it?
That is correct, to give, yes.
So that's really none of your business.
That is correct.
So, and I assume that you don't suggest that you're looking to recoup that money from him.
Absolutely not, only
So-
what was borrowed.
Well, so that what I'd like you to do is to show me in the
Okay.
ledger where it says loan.
Okay?
Okay?
It's right here.
Because that's
Mhm.
primarily what I'm going to look at.
Right, it's right here. Also, here are credit card bills, of which it says Dawn owes for these, that were in her ledger. And here also is the furniture that she had purchased a month before she died.
Well, where does that say that that was a loan?
It does not say it. Well, it just says Dawn owes for this.
Who wrote Dawn owes for that?
My mother.
Let me see.
Okay. Any and all transactions. Okay.
Okay. What was your mother's name?
Helen Royce.
How did you know Helen?
When I was in beauty school, she was a client, a steady client, and I did her hair. And struck up a friendship, and after I graduated, she just followed me. I still did her hair in the salons I was at, and the friendship still developed from there. She didn't talk to her kids a lot, and I didn't have any family.
That is not true. I'm telling you, that's not. Here are my
Listen.
phone bills.
Listen to me.
Okay.
He was
All
quiet, now you have to be quiet.
All right.
From what she told me, she didn't have the best relationship with him because they had owed her money. She had loaned them $10,000 to get their house years ago and had never even attempted to pay her back, and they did have a contract with her. So that made a gap between them. She did take me to work if I needed. She made sure
I'm
she
not
was a good-
concerned about her taking you to work, sir. I'm not concerned about her taking you to dinner. This is a lady who, I assume, was a little lonely, and she found your company appealing, and she wanted to spend her money on you. That's her business.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I didn't have any family growing up. She showed me what a nice a grandmother and a mother was.
Aww.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Neilani Flores is suing her late mother's hairdresser, Donald Smith, for loans he never repaid.
Miss Flores, I'm looking at this book that you gave me, and I assume that it's just this one page that you're talking about?
2 pages,
well,
yes.
These 2 pages.
Yes.
And let me tell you that on these 2 pages, there is only one indication of a loan. The others clearly indicate bills incurred for Dawn.
Correct.
That doesn't necessarily, madam, convince me that those were loans. You know, when you give money to somebody, especially, I can imagine a situation where you are an elderly lady, home, you have a bookkeeping mentality, you want to keep track of how much money you gave to somebody just for your own head. I mean, how many times do I wake up in the morning and I want to know how much money I have in my savings account and my checking account and how much money I gave to this child or to that child? That doesn't mean it's a loan. That just means that I'm keeping a mental note of how much that particular person has cost me that year. Do you understand? It could just as easily have been that's written in this book, because there is one place where it says loan.
That's correct.
$450 according to your mother. He still owes her $400 from this. Now, this piece of paper that it looks as if it's written in the same hand.
That is her writing, yes.
Right. But there is also no indication that this was a loan.
Right? That's correct. But if the money wasn't owed, she wouldn't have written it down.
I don't know that. I think that you have a difficult time. You're going to have a difficult time proving that. Now, when you say this is a piece of paper that says Dawn owes this,
that's correct.
$11,396,
Of which we're still paying the bills for her, yes.
Okay.
His clothing receipts. There were many more receipts that weren't included.
Just a second. I'm looking for her handwriting on here, because I do see one, and it seems to match the handwriting in her book, in her ledger, on this credit card.
There's several Mervyn's receipts for men's clothing, of which are for him.
Well, just a second. You have to understand something, madam. What I just said to you was,
Right.
There are certain things that clearly your mother had denoted as loans, O's, loans.
And all of this.
And certain things on which there are no notes.
They were all included in that book, though, Your Honor. You know, pinned inside together.
I only see one note of hers.
Right, they were all pinned inside.
Paperclip.
Paper clipped inside.
What?
There were also.
What I think she's trying to say is that my mother-in-law was keeping track of the bills and anything she had spent on them, and that what she's trying to say is that those look like they were all incurred as a loan to him.
Looks like is not a loan.
Okay.
Sir. Looks like is not a loan.
Okay.
It has to be clearly marked. He says that they were not loans. He says that they were gifts. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
They
But
weren't
clearly,
gifts, Donald.
Miss Flores, don't talk. Miss Flores, don't
That's
talk
what's
to him.
wrong with the elderly,
Don't-
though. That's how they're getting ripped off.
Miss Flores, sometimes you're absolutely right. And sometimes a lady who is 73 years old, living far away from her family, and I assume you live far enough away so that you didn't see your mother a couple of times a week. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
If she has to pay for some companionship by buying a present or by giving a shirt or by buying furniture, unfortunately, that happens. And then when there is a tragedy like this, the family feels as if their parent was taken advantage of. At the time your mother was alive, I guarantee you, she didn't feel as if she was being taken advantage of. She was having a good time. Did your step up here. You went out to dinner and you went gambling with your grandmother and the defendant?
Yes, I did.
Did your grandmother look like she was having a good time?
Sure.
Right. How many times did you go gambling with your grandmother?
Every time I went up there.
Well, how often was that?
Once every couple months. Whenever I made it up to Vegas, I'd go.
So once every couple of months, you took Grandma out for a spin.
Yes,
how many
I
times did you go gambling with Grandma?
Usually once a week.
I took Grandma. Grandma didn't take me.
It doesn't make any difference.
But she was living from check to check to check. And then by the time of her death, as you can see, she started out with $35,000 in the bank. 2 years later, she depleted her savings. Now we have bills that we're paying on for him.
Just a second. You don't seem to understand something. It's her money.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You make me nauseous. If this camera went on, I swear to God, my dad would knock me out. I swear to God.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Neilani Flores is suing her late mother's hairdresser, Donald Smith, claiming he swindled her out of thousands of dollars before she died.
You're not responsible for your mother's debts. You know darn well that you're not under the law. So if you have to pay out any money for her, it's being paid out of her money.
What money? There's no money left.
Then if there's no money left, madam, then you don't have to pay anymore because children and grandchildren are not liable for the debts of their parents. I'm certain that your lawyer told you that. This is her money. If she wants to go gambling with him and give him money 5 nights a week because that makes her happy, it may not be smart, it may not be preserving her estate, but she's lonely and she's not going to live for every 2 months while when her granddaughter decides to come up and pay her a visit and take her out to dinner and gambling. That doesn't mean he's necessarily a nice person. I'm not even suggesting that to you. And I'm not suggesting that he didn't take advantage of her. He probably did.
I think so, too.
Absolutely.
I know. Why not?
A lot of people take advantage of the elderly.
That's sad.
Well, it is sad. However, it made her happy.
Why was she paying his
However,
a job?
It made your grandmother happy. If she didn't want to do it, she wouldn't have done it. She was of sound mind, and if she had to pay for an occasional escort, which is what he was, and he said that they were really good friends. Bull. However, if she had to pay for it so that she had company a couple of times a week, that made her happy. Why are you complaining now?
Because we're paying for his bills.
No, you're not. What do you mean you're paying?
Because in the will, it stated my mom is the executor of the will. So any monies be paid out for any of her expenses be paid out of that. So we did
What's your first name?
Tammy.
Are you dumb?
No, I'm not.
Well, then let me tell you something. What you're saying to me is I tried to explain it to you. Because your mother is the executrix of your grandmother's will, she does not have to go to her bank account, her personal bank account, and pay 1 sou for your grandmother's debts. The only money that can be used to pay for your grandmother's debts is your grandmother's money, which is not your money, no matter what you think. It is not your money. There may not be anything left for you after you pay the debts, but you 3 people do not have to dig into your own pocket to pay for anything. So stop thinking about it as your money. It's not. It was your grandmother's money, and she could do whatever she diddly pleases with it, and it pleased her. It gave her a certain amount of pleasure to sport him around. I don't know why, but it did. Now that I've taken care of that area, now I talk to you. There were certain things clearly here that she indicated you owed her. Take a deep gulp. You want to tell me what you owed her?
Nothing that she gave, it was all gifts.
That's not true. That's clearly not true.
If it was as a loan, there would have been a contract made that I would have signed.
Are you kidding me?
Are
you kidding me?
No, I'm not. The 450 was I was in between jobs and she helped me out with the rent. I paid back the first payment of 40, and when I gave her that 40, she looked at me and says, "That's all I wanted to know was that you made the effort." She was forget about the rest.
Well, but that's not what it says here. That was a loan. Because that's what she has denoted here, that it was a loan. Now, let's talk about this furniture. How'd you get the furniture?
That was delivered to me, my understanding, as a housewarming and a birthday present. I moved into a house I'm renting with my companion. It was a month of my birthday also. She wanted to go to a furniture store. She was asking me what I liked. I said, "Why are you asking me this? You know, I'm not looking for furniture." And a couple weeks after I'd moved in, what I had picked, she knew that I had liked, she had bought and delivered.
You were, right?
Yeah.
I can understand buying you some clothes. I can understand taking you out to dinner. I can understand even giving you some gambling money when you go out. I don't have a problem with that. They may have a problem with that, but I certainly don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with $1,379 for furniture for you and your companion.
That was her choice. It was not asked of her. That's what she wanted to do.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That doesn't sit right with me. You have 2 men who live together, both employed, and there comes a point when taking from this lady became being a pig. Certain things she wants to buy you, some clothes, she wants to take you out for dinner, she wants to make sure she has some company. But then there comes a point when it's sort of sickening. This is sort of sickening.
Why?
Why?
That was her choice. We didn't ask, I didn't ask.
I don't believe you. Did you just happen to be home when the furniture was delivered?
No, I was at work, I had to go home.
You didn't mean you didn't know it was going to be delivered? It was all a surprise to you.
They called me and I had to go down.
That didn't answer my question.
No, I did not know it was going to be delivered that day.
You're full of baloney.
She also paid all of his doctor bills also.
I see that here. That's not marked alone, madam. It's not marked alone.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You're never going to recoup all the money that you gave him. It's not going to happen. But you should have at least some comfort in knowing that your mother had a good time. She did. She had some young people around her that made her feel good. Your mom didn't call an escort service and said, "Send me somebody to have a good time with." They treated her nicely. They showed her a good time. They probably made her laugh. They gambled together. She probably enjoyed going to a casino with them better than going by herself to a casino. You know that that's true. And they took financial advantage of her. It's been happening for ages. But you don't recoup that. Unless there's some clear indication or some common sense, like with this furniture. Shirts and stuff I can understand. But a house full of furniture for 2 working men, I don't. Okay, there are certain things that are clearly marked as loans. I'm counting up only those things, and I am including in it the furniture.
Okay.
Because you're sitting on it, you're sleeping on it, you're going to pay for it. And all those things together come to $2,104, judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Look at this face because he's going to prey on you next. Yeah.
Evil little woman.
Evil.
Evil?
No, you're evil.
He had a free e-ticket right on the woman. He made her feel like they were friends. The woman never bought herself furniture in 20 years. She turns around and gives this guy $1,700 worth. Not going to happen.
And she sat on it and she slept on it
Oh,
too.
yeah, sure she did.
You are. You are so stupid.
Oh, you know me so well. I never want to see you again, and I wish to God I never saw you in the first place. And now I know why she stayed away from you for so long.
Dad,
Me,
don't even go there.
You'll see me again, pal. Makes you a real man that you prey on old people. You can't even support yourself. What kind of law? Where's your family?
I hope that this case has proved that, that there will be justice for the elderly, that they're constantly preyed on like people like you.